about it, or they
go
say,
get a job, hippie.
Yeah, exactly. Go get a job, you freaking hippie. Or here's God. God is the meaning of life, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just trying to resolve for myself, like, what could the answer be, right? Not what is the answer, but what could the answer be? And so at a core level, I was forced to kind of hunt down all these weird little things and really understand for myself. And it's got to be personal, right? But I have to establish for myself what it could and could not be. And that gave me some level of peace. So now I don't have to keep asking that question.
What is the meaning of life?
I mean, I think the question is more interesting than the answer. Everyone should explore this on their own. But let me just explore a few parts with you, right?
Okay.
So first is, if I gave you an answer, if I said the meaning of life is to please God, well, which God? Okay, Judeo-Christian God. Well, okay, why that one? Why this thing? The problem is it's a why question. You can keep asking why forever, right? Any answer I give you, you'll just ask why again, why again,
like
why
a little
again.
kid.
That's right. And you end up in a place called Agrippa's trilemma. Okay, this is a philosophical exercise, but I kind of thought it through, then Googled around, and there's a thing called Agrippa's trilemma. And Agrippa's trilemma says that any questioning like this, the why, will always end in one of three places. Okay, first is infinite regress, right? Why? Because of this. Why that? Why that? And just keep going forever. The second is circular reasoning. Well, A. Why A? Because of B. Well, why B? Because of A. Right? You get trapped in that. Or the third is an axiom. And the most popular axiom is God, but it could be anything because of math, because of science, because of the Big Bang, because of simulation, right? These are all axioms. These are all just stopping points. Saying simulation, we're in a simulation, or saying it's the Big Bang is just another way of saying God. It's just, God's a dirty word, so we don't use it as much anymore, but same thing. So you end up in one of these three dead ends, essentially, right? So there is no answer. The real answer is because. Right?
What is the meaning of life?
Yeah, you get to make up your own answer is the beauty. If there was a single answer, we would not be free. We would be trapped, because then we would all have to live to that answer. Then we'd be Borg-like robots, each one competing with each other to fulfill that single meaning more than the others. Back to signaling, like I'm better at it than you are. But luckily, there is no answer. So you just do whatever you want.
The meaning of life. It's funny that's the basis of all existential angst, that you don't
know why you're here.
And you have this feeling that it could be meaningless. It is, I mean, when you start pondering the multiverse, the universe, the galaxies, the solar system, the planet, the organism, the cells inside the organism, the bacteria, the parasites,
right,
the symbiotic relationship we have to our environment, and you start going, Jesus Christ, what am I just a little piece of this thing? It's like,
well, the answers to all the great questions are paradoxes.
Yeah.
So, for example, you're asking, like, do I matter? That's like really the question you asked, right? Well, how do I matter in this infinite universe? Well, on the one hand, you're separate. No 2 points are the same. Every 2 points are infinitely different. You're completely separated. No one will have your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your experience. So your life is a single player game. You're trapped inside your head and you're just aware of a bunch of things going on, and that's it. On the other hand, I cannot say the words Joe Rogan without invoking the entire universe. Joe Rogan, alien comes along, says, what's that? Joe Rogan. What's Joe Rogan? It's a human. What's a human? Bipedal ape. What's an ape on the earth? What's the earth? Planet. What's a planet? Solar system. Where was the carbon made? Inside stars, right? It's like I have to create the entire universe to just say the words Joe Rogan. So in that sense, you're connected to everything. It's inseparable. So the answer to that question of do I matter is I am nothing and I am everything. And you'll find this with all the great questions. The answers are all paradoxes, which is why at some level it's sort of pointless to pursue them, to find a trite answer like I'm giving. But the act of pursuing them is actually really useful, because then it gives you certain intrinsic understanding in your life that brings a level of peace.
I feel like there's, with many people, this stress of this question is also accentuated by unhappy lives. It's accentuated by unhappy choices, by being trapped. There's a big difference between not knowing what the meaning of life is and, God, I got to get the fuck out of this job. I can't live my life this way. What's the meaning of life if this is my life?
Which is why I always start with, let's get you rich first, right? That's why I'm very practical about it, because look, Buddha was a prince. Okay, he started out really rich, and then he got to go off in the woods. And in the old days, what happened was, if you wanted to be peaceful inside, you would become a monk. You would renounce everything. You would become an ascetic. You would give everything up. You would renounce women, men. You'd renounce children. You'd renounce money. You'd renounce politics, science, technology, everything. And you would go out in the woods by yourself. You had to give everything up to be free inside. Well, today we have this wonderful invention called money, where you can just store stuff up in a bank account. Okay, and you can basically save up. You can work really hard. You can do great things for society, and society will give you money for giving it things that it wants and it doesn't know how to get. And then you can save that up, and you can live well below with your means, and you can find a certain freedom in that. And that will give you the time and the energy to pursue your own internal peace and happiness. So I believe the solution to making everybody happy is to give them what they want. Let's get them all rich. Let's get them all fit and healthy, and then let's get them all happy.
Are those things even possible? Can
Absolutely.
Everyone can be rich?
Everyone can be rich.
Everyone.
Here's my thought exercise for you.
Now it seems like we're in an infomercial. Everyone can be rich.
I'm not selling
Look at my home. This is my Rolls Royce. Like,
no, so that's a good point.
Right.
So everything that I've ever created on this topic of how to make money, I will never charge $1 for. Because that would ruin it. That would show that I'm just another huckster who's trying to get rich off of you. There are no get-rich-quick schemes. That's just somebody else trying to get rich off of you, right? So to me, it's more of a philosophical contribution where for it to have meaning and to be legit, I can't charge you anything for it. But yes, everybody can be rich. And let me give you a thought exercise. Okay, imagine if tomorrow we could wave a wand and everybody was trained as a scientist or an engineer. Everybody. Even if you weren't very good, you had enough understanding of computers, you could write some code, you could build some hardware. And don't tell me people can't do it, because they can't. That's just a tyranny of soft expectations. That's just you looking down on somebody else. They can't do it. They just have to be educated. Now, if they're educated all as hardware, software engineers, scientists, biologists, technicians, hard sciences, not the social sciences, we would all be done within 5 years. Robots would be doing everything from cleaning toilets to cooking food to flying airplanes to driving Ubers. And what would we be doing? We would be doing all creative jobs to entertain each other and researching science and technology. We would have wonderful lives. So it is really just a question of education, nothing else.
Is this a scale issue, though? I mean, you're talking about it as if this would work with 300 million people.
It'll work with 10 billion people. It'll work
Really?
with a spacefaring race with 100 trillion people.
We have the
build
resources.
spaceships.
We have the ability.
The universe is infinite resources. You build it, have you heard of a Dyson sphere?
Mm-hmm.
You build a Dyson sphere on a star and you gather all its energy. Like that, there's so much energy out there. One asteroid's got all the minerals that we need. One sun, one solar system has got all the power we will need for a long, long time. We can extract it out of nuclear fusion. We're not that far from those kinds of technologies working. It's just a question of guts and and interest. Like we should be building nuclear fusion test plants on the moon. The moon should be littered with them. It's no downside.
Right. Yeah. If you could, how would that work?
Well,
Send a bunch of people up there to work?
Well, the problem robots. The problem
Yeah.
with fission, nuclear fission, is that nature creates energy through nuclear energy, right? Like the sun creates energy, nuclear energy. Now, for transmission, we use photons because photons don't interact, and so photons are great for information transmission, but they're actually not great for energy transmission. For energy creation, you want nuclear to work. And the problem is because nuclear energy, we built it with a bomb, we have dirty nukes, all those kinds of problems with Fukushima, 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl. We don't innovate anymore on nukes. Imagine if when the first steam engine blew up, we said, oh, no more steam engines for a while,
Right.
or very carefully regulated, $1 billion of regulation. You can't innovate that way. When the first airplane crashed, we said, no more innovation in airplanes, right? So we need a way to iterate on nuclear fission and eventually fusion and get them working safely, cleanly, passive failure, etc. if we're going to find our way out of the energy trap. And the best place to do that is someplace like on the moon or Mars.
Do you think that it's actually a possibility that they could get nuclear power to the point where it's not a detriment? Because what everyone's worried about is a meltdown, right?
Yeah.
And we do have these old plants that are running on this.
This is 50-year-old
Ancient-
technology.
It's crazy because
Right.
there's no ability to shut them off.
Right, very old technology. They do now have Gen 4 nuclear reactors that are passive fail-safe. So in other words, when they fail into when you pull the plug on them, they fail into a state where there's no leakage, there's no problem.
Right.
Their default is a positive outcome, as opposed to the current ones, the old ones, where if you unplug them,
And
they
these
can melt
even
down.
these Gen 4 are just Gen 4. They're not Gen 5.
They're not Gen
6.
80, Gen
Yes.
100, where we are
Right.
microprocessors, right?
And that
So-
should be something that people are working towards.
I hope so. I mean, in an ideal world, we would just... Now, the problem is if you have nuclear energy on the moon, how do you get it home?
Right.
So what you actually got to do is you got to rev it on the moon, and you're using it there maybe to launch more satellites, more rockets further out into the solar system. And that's the initial use case. But then eventually the technology gets so good, you can bring it home.
Now, I want to go back to this idea of getting people rich, that somehow or another that's going to make people happy. How do you stop the natural progression that people have of, I have got a nice Chevrolet,
Yeah.
but I really want a BMW. I've got a nice BMW, but now I want a Mercedes. I have a Mercedes. I want a Ferrari.
Yeah.
How do you stop that material possession trap? Because
You can't at some level, but I think most smart people over time realize that possessions don't make them happy. Right? It's just you have to go through that. You have to buy your stupid car to realize that it doesn't attract attractive girls. It actually just attracts other dudes who are like, hey, I like that car, man.
Right.
Like you have some expensive cars out there, some fancy cars. Tell me how much that attracts women versus men.
well, I'm
Right.
married. Those are for me. But,
Right.
I just
Yeah.
enjoy machines.
Yeah, so
for me, they're toys.
That's a particular thing where you enjoy machines. But I think as you get older, you just realize that there's no happiness in material possessions. Now, lack of material possessions can make you very unhappy.
Yes.
So being poor can make you unhappy, but being rich is not going to make you happy. And what happens, unfortunately, a lot of people struggle through their whole lives to make money. They make some, they're exhausted, and then they're like, well, now why am I not happy? I guess I'm just not a happy person, and smart people aren't happy. That's like a great little way to people feel better about it. They say, well, if you're smart, you're not happy, right? Whereas I posit it the other way. If you're smart, you should be able to figure out how to be happy. Otherwise, you're not that smart.
Yeah, that is an offensive statement, that if you're smart, you're not happy. I've heard that before, and I just do not understand the logic of that, other than self-justifying.
I understand where it comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from, if you're smart, it's usually because you thought things through and you have a very busy mind.
Yeah.
And so a busy mind can often rob you of peace of mind.
Right.
Because the peace that we seek is not peace of mind, it's peace from mind, right? So if you look at all the crazy activities you do to be happy, right? Whether it's like trying to get laid and have an orgasm, or extreme sports, or looking at something beautiful, or taking a psychedelic, you're trying to get out of your own mind. You're trying to get your monkey mind to stop chattering at you for a moment. You're trying to get peace from the mind. And there are other better ways to do that. Most of the ways we try to get peace from mind are indirect. Whereas if you understand things, if you see things properly, you will naturally slowly develop peace from mind. Sorry if I went on a tangent there.
No, it's a good tangent. It's a good tangent because I think that oftentimes the pursuit is what's thrilling to people, and the possibility that one day they'll be able to rest and that they'll reach this goal.
That's the fundamental delusion, that there is something out there that will make me happy and fulfill forever.
Yeah, golden years.
There is. It's called death.
Oh.
I'll take care of everything. That's the great leveler.
But when people look at particularly social media, let's bring it back to that, when you see someone who, you see them posed in front of their mansion with their beautiful car, and they're leaning against it with their designer clothes on, their expensive watch, you go, I want that.
Right.
That's what I want.
What you really want is freedom. You want freedom from your money problems.
Right.
And I think that's okay. So once someone can solve their money problems, either by lowering their lifestyle or by making enough money, essentially what you want to get everybody to is retirement. But not retirement in the I'm 65 years old, sitting in a nursing home collecting a check retirement. Different definition. Retirement is when you stop sacrificing today for some imaginary tomorrow. Okay?
Yes.
When today is complete in and of itself, you're retired.
Yeah.
And so how do you get there? Well, one is you can have so much money saved up that just your passive income off of that, without you having to lift a finger, covers your burn rate. Keep your burn rate low, right? A second is you just drive your burn rate down to zero. You become a monk. A third is you're doing something you love. You enjoy it so much, it's not about the money.
Right.
So there are multiple ways to that path, but the most common is people just say, I need to make more money. And the kind of wealth creation that I talk about is about creating timeless principles and adapting yourself so that making money won't be an issue. And you can do it by doing what you love, right? Like we get into this model of, I must work for other people, work my way up the ladder. I must do what that person is doing to make money. But really, today in society, you get rewarded for creative work, for creating something brand new that society didn't even know yet that it wanted, that it doesn't know how to get other than through you. So the most powerful money makers are actually individual brands, people like yourself, or Elon, or Kanye, or Oprah, or Trump, right? These are individual brands, eponymous name brands, who themselves are leveraged. You're leveraged. You have podcast media going out to everybody. That's leveraged. The podcast work for you when you sleep. They have knowledge that nobody else has, which is your knowledge is the knowledge of being Joe Rogan. I mean, who else is a UFC fighter and a commentator and a podcaster and a comedian and interested in all these things and knows all these people? Can't replace you. So we have to pay you what you're worth. And
I never fought in the UFC though.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry. Or you're whatever. You're involved in that whole scene. You just have a unique set of skill sets. So because of this unique, what I call specific knowledge, because of the accountability that you have with your name, because of the leverage that you have through your media, you're a money-making machine. I'm sure at this point I could make you start over tomorrow, wipe out your bank account, you'd be rich again in no time, because you have all the skill sets. So once people have those skill sets, and the beauty is the way you've done it is you don't have any competition. There's no substitution. If Joe Rogan were to disappear off the air tomorrow, it's not like random podcaster number 12 would step in and fill that thing. No, it's just gone. So the way to get out of that competition trap is actually to be authentic. The way to retire is actually to find the thing that you know how to do better than anybody. And you know how to do that better than anybody because you love to do it. No one can compete with you if you love to do it. Be authentic, and then figure out how to map that to what society actually wants. Apply some leverage, put your name on it so you take the risks, but you gain the rewards, have ownership and equity in what you do, and just crank it out.
I think people have to be very careful to not get trapped along the way with things that you can afford with your current lifestyle, like the way you're living and the way you're earning, but they're also imprisoning you in the fact that you are now going to have to work this 40-hour-a-week job in order to get this thing that you can afford. But now you're saddled down to this job. You're not saving. You're not putting things in a good place, and you're working for these things. Working for things as rewards is a real trap that a lot of people fall into.
It's the biggest one. Nassim Taleb also says that there are two great addictions: heroin and a monthly salary. Right, and that's why you can't get rich renting out your time, because even when you start charging more and more for your time, it's a slow upgrade loop, and then you upgrade your house at the same time, you upgrade your car at the same time, you move in the neighborhood. You really also have to get used to ignoring your peers. or upgrading or changing the definition of your peers. There are
Right.
a lot of people here who are poor here, but they would be rich if they were living in Thailand and Bali. And if they have the luxury of a remotely doable job, they may want to be living there and saving up money.
But the ignoring the peers is an issue because the keeping up with the Joneses is a real phenomenon.
Yeah, envy makes the world go round. Right?
Yeah. And then there's a other thing that people have to avoid, even allowing their mind to think. When they're hearing what you're saying and all this logical, fantastic advice, there's these 6 dirty words. That's easy for you to say.
Yeah.
That is a terrible trap.
I mean, look, I grew up as a first-generation immigrant in Jamaica, Queens, with 0 money, single mom, 2 kids, working day and night, go to school. I washed dishes. I was working catering jobs. I was mowing lawns. I was working since the age of 11, on and off here and there. Didn't have 2 cents to rub together. I had to borrow $400 to go to college. Like literally, I was short $400.
$400.
I had to find $400.
Wow.
I didn't have it. Got rejected from a job at Dunkin' Donuts. So, okay. It's not to say that it's easy. It's
Right.
not easy. It's
not easy.
actually really freaking hard.
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing you will do, but it's also the rewarding thing. Look at the kids who are born rich, no meaning to their lives.
It's a terrible place.
Your real resume is just a cataloging of all your suffering. Right? If I were to ask you to describe your real life to yourself, and you look back on your deathbed, you're going to go back and say, what are the interesting things I've done? And it's all going to be around the sacrifices that you made and the hard things that you did. Anything you're given doesn't matter. You have your 4 limbs, you have your brain, you have your head, you have your skin. That's all for granted. So you have to do hard things anyway to create your own meaning in life. Making money is a fine one. Yeah, struggle. It is hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's really hard, but the tools are all available. It's all there.
There's also these traps that people sort of establish in their own mind of giving themselves excuses or giving themselves unsurmountable obstacles, insurmountable paths and terrain.
Victim mentality.
Yes.
Yeah, it's somebody else's fault. It's my skin
Yes.
color's fault. It's the system's fault. Yeah, those people are sinking. I feel bad for them. I want to shake them out of it and say, actually, you can get out of it. You just have to stop thinking it's everybody
You have
else's
to alter
fault.
the perspective.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult for people to do. It's one of the most difficult things for people to do is to change the way they approach reality itself.
At the end of the day, I do think, even despite what I said earlier, life is really a single-player game. It's all going on in your head. Whatever you think, you believe, will very much shape your reality, both from what risks you take and what actions you perform, but also just your everyday experience of reality. If you're walking down the street and you're judging everyone, you're like, I don't like that person because their skin color, I don't like that, oh, she's not attractive, that guy's fat, this person's a loser, oh, who put this in my way? The more you judge, the more you're going to separate yourself, and you'll feel good for an instant because you'll feel good about yourself. I'm better than that. But then you're going to feel lonely. And then you're just going to see negativity everywhere. The world just reflects your own feelings back at you. Reality is neutral. Reality has no judgments. To a tree, there's no concept of right or wrong or good or bad, right? You're born, you have a whole set of sensory experiences and stimulations and lights and colors and sounds, and then you die.
Yeah.
And how you choose to interpret that is up to you. You do have that choice. So this is what I meant, that happiness is a choice. If you believe it's a choice, then you can start working on it. And I can't tell you how to find it because it's your own conditionings that are making you unhappy. So you have to uncondition yourself. It's just like, I can't fix your eating habits for you. I can give you some general guidelines, but you got to go through the hard habit forming of how to eat right. But you have to believe it's possible. And it is absolutely possible. I was miserable. I'm happy as a clam. And it's not just the money. I got there before the money.
You got happy before the money.
Mostly, yeah.
How did you get happy before the money?
I started getting older. I just realized life is short. I'm going to die.
That's, again, trite, right?
Trite.
In many ways.
Yeah. Well, Confucius had a great saying that every man has 2 lives, and the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
Wow.
And I read that, and it was one of those book dropping lines. It's like mic drop. Confucius had a lot of mic drops.
Confucius was a bad motherfucker.
He was.
That's a crazy one.
That was a great one. Or another one is next time you get sick, because everybody gets sick every now and then. It's like a happy person wants 10,000 things. A sick person just wants one thing, right? So it's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Have desires. You're a biological creature that stands up and says, I can do something. I move, I resist, I live. But just be very careful of your desires. This is the oldest, most trite wisdom. Desire is suffering. That's what it means, right? Every desire you have is an access where you will suffer. So just don't focus on more than one desire at a time. The universe is rigged in such a way that if you just want one thing and you focus on that, you'll get it. But everything else, you got to let go.
Did you make a gradual shift to happiness, or was it a radical change?
It's ongoing. It's gradual. Every day
So
gets
you're
better.
Happier today than you were a month ago,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very happy these days. Deliriously so. It's actually hard for me to hang out with normal people.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've made a significant shift over the period of how many years?
Probably about 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And is this something that you've pursued through certain books, or is it just like you've made an understanding or gained an understanding in your own mind and then started pursuing it based on that understanding?
Yeah, it's very, very personal. It's basically you have to decide it's a priority. And then I tried every hack I possibly could. I used to, I tried I tried meditation, I tried witnessing, I even tried an SSRI just to see what it would feel like.
How did it feel?
It turned me from a pessimist to an optimist, but I didn't like the physical side effects, nor did I want to be on a drug for a sustained basis. So I dropped it. And
But it did turn you into an optimist.
Yes. At the time, I used to be a pessimist. Yeah. I started doing things like I would start looking at in every moment, in everything that happens, you can look on the bright side of something, right? And so I used to do that forcibly, and then I trained it until it became second nature. So, for example, like a friend of my wife's was over, and when we were dating, and she took all these photos. She took like hundreds of photos, and then she sends them all to us. And my immediate reaction was like, why are you dumping hundreds of photos on my phone? I don't need hundreds of photos. Have some judgment. That was my immediate reaction. And then I could say, actually, how nice of her. She sent me hundreds of photos. I can pick the one that I like, right? There are two ways of seeing almost everything. There are a few things that are like high suffering, so you can't do that other than just saying, well, this is a teacher, right? But I slowly worked through every negative judgment that I had until I saw the positive in it. Now it's second nature to me. I also realized that like what you want is you want a clear mind. So you want to let go of thoughts. Happy thoughts disappear out of your head automatically. Very easy to let go of them. Negative thoughts linger. So if you interpret the positive in everything very quickly, you let it go. Right, you let it go much faster. Simple hacks: get more sunlight. Right, learn to smile more, learn to hug more. These things actually release serotonin in reverse. They aren't just outward signals of being happy; they're actually feedback loops to being happy. Spend more time in nature. These are obvious. Watch your mind. Watch your mind all day long. Watch what it does. Not judge it. Not try to control it. But you can meditate 24/7. Meditation is not a sit down, close your eyes activity. Meditation is just basically watching your own thoughts like you would watch anything else in the outside world, and say, why am I having that thought? Does that serve me anymore? Is that conditioning from when I was 10 years old? Like, for example, getting ready for this podcast.
You got ready?
I didn't.
Oh,
but
good.
I did. But I did.
Well,
I couldn't help it. And what happened was the few days leading up to this,
Welcome to the cube. Start. Success. 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 Start. Complete.
was my mind was just running. And normally my mind is pretty calm. And it was just running and running and running. And every thought I would have, I would imagine me saying it to you. My brain couldn't help but rehearse what it's doing. It's just rehearsing all the time to talk to you. And then I was even telling you about the rehearsal, right? So it was all playing all these meta games. And I was just like, shut up, stop it. What is going on? And it took me a while to figure out, oh yeah, you know what it is? When I was a kid in Queens and I had no money and I had nothing and I needed to save myself, the way I got out was by sounding smart, not being smart, sounding smart. That was the skill I perfected. So I am hardwired to always rehearse things so I will sound smart. It's a disease. It keeps me from being happy. But when you see that, when you realize that, when you understand something, then it naturally calms you down. So after that, I stopped rehearsing as much.
Wow.
But it's still a trained habit.
That is a really interesting point, that you want to sound smart. That many people do that, and especially young people. When you see someone who is smart or someone who appears smart, they say smart things. Right. You go, God, I want to sound smart. I want people to think about me the same way I think about that person.
That is my disease. That is my feeling. It is what clutters my mind. The thing I have to ask myself now is, would I still be interested in learning this thing if I couldn't ever tell anybody about it? That's how I know it's real. That's how I know it's something I actually want to know.
That's a common thing, though. I know I suffered from that when I was young, the desire to sound smart. It's very common.
Well, all of us start out, everything you're the winner now in your life. It's because you were a loser at some point.
Right.
If you had gotten all the girls, if you had all the money, if you had everything you want, you were good looking in junior high or high school, you wouldn't have done anything with your life. Mm-hmm. And you would have peaked early. It's like the Bruce Springsteen Glory Days song, right? You would have married your high school sweetheart. You'd be living in your hometown. You'd be a manager at the local McDonald's, whatever the first dream job you had. Thank God we didn't all get what we wanted when we were young, right? Or we would be trapped in that. So you have to be able to break out of where you came from. I don't know where I was going.
That is interesting, too, about people who peak too early.
Yeah.
Or maybe those people that peak too early can do the Elon Musk thing and just abandon it and start something new and then learn the joys of sucking at something.
Yeah. And actually, in our professions, especially when you're high visibility, the problem with peaking is that you then get drowned in death of 1,000 cuts. People have expectations of you. Hey, Joe, can you come to my event? Hey, Joe, can you look at my business plan? Hey, Joe, can you give me advice on this? Can you talk to my friend? Can you come in this podcast? You're just being assaulted all the time with inbound opportunities. So you have no time to start over with anything. So you have to ruthlessly disappoint everybody, eliminate and clear your schedule, drop all the meetings, not even respond to the emails. It's the only way you're going to be able to start over with anything.
Yeah, and we talked about this, and I love your approach to meetings. That if they're not life or death, I'm the same way. Yeah. I avoided a good one recently, and this was someone that was just tracking me down as a high-profile person at a big organization, and I'm like, can we just talk on the phone? And then we talked on the phone. There was nothing to say. It was just they wanted to get me in the office. And
the meetings should really be phone calls. Phone calls should be emails, and emails should just be texts, right?
Many of them, right?
With meetings, I despise meetings. I used to own the domain idon'tdocoffee.com. I eventually let it go, but I used to respond from Naval at I don't do coffee.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But it was a little bit of a jerk move. But really where it comes from is when I was young, one of my principles was I knew I had to make money. It was my overwhelming desire. And one of the things I did was I said, okay, I'm never going to be worth more than what I think I'm worth. Okay, no one's going to pay me more than what I think I'm worth. So what am I worth? So I picked an hourly rate for myself that I was worth. And I said, I'm never going to squander my time for less than this. So if originally it was $500 an hour, then I upgrade to $5,000 an hour. And it's ludicrous. But pick an aspirational hourly rate. Aspirational. It has to be a little ludicrous. And then what I would do is if I have to return something, I'm standing in line to return something and it's below my hourly rate, I'll throw it away. If I have to, or give it away. If I have to do some task and I can hire somebody to do it for less than my hourly rate, I would hire them. And so I just became extremely jealous of my time, which doesn't mean you can't have fun. Rest, leisure, spending time with your friends and family, that's all great. Don't count that. But if you're doing anything you don't want to do, which is the definition of work, it's a set of things that you have to do that you don't want to do. If you're working, it better be for your hourly rate. Otherwise, don't do the work. And so once it came out of that, then I just realized the cost of meetings. The cost of meetings is so high, especially given all the people who are in there, right? One person's talking, 7 people listening. You're literally just dying an hour at a time. So you have to just drop non-urgent meetings or figure out how to be more efficient with them if you're going to do anything great. The extreme example is business travel. Getting on a plane to fly half around the world for one meeting, which never amounts to anything, and then wasting your whole little life there and then flying back. So about 5 years ago, I resolved, I am never going to travel for business.
Wow.
And I haven't traveled for business since. I only travel if the travel experience will be so entertaining and joyous because I have friends or it's a place I want to see or whatever, that it will be complete in and of itself, because I know that whatever the business meeting it came from is never worth it.
Wow.
And actually, that principle applies larger than just travel. It applies to life in general. This one of the secrets to happiness is to really embrace what you're doing in that moment. That's trite, but where that comes from is saying, I only want to do actions that are complete in and of themselves, right? If I'm looking for some ulterior motive down the line, it's not going to materialize. And if you think it is, maybe even if it does, it'll be very short-lived. Anything you want in your life, whether it was a car or whether it was a girl or whether it was money, when you got it, a year later, you were back to zero. Your brain had hedonically adapted to it, and you were looking for the next thing.
That's a great statement. Hedonically adapted. That is what happens to people. You get accustomed to whatever it is. I realized that when I first got a new apartment. It was a nice apartment. After a while, I got used to it. I was like, oh, okay. This is just an apartment. It's just where I live. I'm used to it. It's nice, but I'm used to it.
Yeah, we all go through this learning. It's riding the Ferris wheel of life. It's like you get at the bottom, you're like, oh, I want to get to the top. This is so exciting. You ride it up, you get a little dopamine rush, and get a little serotonin. Then you ride it back down as that wears off. Then you need another high. Then you ride it back up, and you ride it back down. And in fact, the more highs you get, the harder it gets to go around the wheel. The more bored you get of it, the harder it goes to go back up.
So what lights your fire now? Like what gets you motivated to do things and to act?
Art.
Art.
This is art.
Oh, okay.
Art is just creativity. It's just anything that's done for its own sake. So what are the things that are done for their own sake? There's nothing beyond loving somebody, creating something, playing, art. To me, creating businesses is play. I create businesses early stage because it's fun, because I'm into the product. Even when I invest, it's because I like the people. I like hanging out with them. I learn from them, and I think the product is really cool. So these days, I will pass on all kinds of great investments because I'm like, the product's not interesting. It's boring. I'm not going to learn anything.
That's a beautiful luxury.
It is a luxury. Art and learning, yeah. It is a luxury. These are not 100% or zero things, right? You can, in your life, start moving more and more towards that.
Right, but it's a goal.
It's a goal. When I was younger, I used to be so desperate to make money that I would have done anything, right? If you'd shown up and said, hey, I got a sewage trucking business and you're going to go into that, I would say, great, let's do it. I'm going to make money. Thank God no one gave me that opportunity. I'm glad that it went down the road of technology and science, which I genuinely enjoy. And so I got to combine my vocation and my avocation. I mean, what are you doing? You're playing. You're having fun. You're doing art. You're not working.
No. That's what I always say when people say I work hard. I'm like, sort of. Yeah. Not really.
I'm always working, but it looks like work to them, but it feels like play to me. And that's how I know no one can compete with me on it. Because I'm just playing 16 hours a day. And if they want to compete with me and they're going to work, they're going to lose because they're not going to do it 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Listen, man, there are some gems of wisdom in this conversation. And I hope people pull things out of this and apply them to their own life. And I'm certainly going to listen to you again and try to apply some of this to my own life, stuff that I'm not already applying. But I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate you coming in here.
Thanks for having me.
And please tell people, those small little podcasts, it's just the Naval podcast, right?
Yeah, best way to find me is on Twitter, actually.
Okay.
I'm just at Naval. Then I have a website at nav.al. I have a YouTube channel, Naval, and I have a podcast, Naval. That's it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Brother.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
My brother, good to see you, as always.
Always good to see you,
And
man.
thanks for jumping on this short notice. For the folks who don't know, I was supposed to have Kevin Lee on today, but Kevin and I, we fucked up. It was partially my fuck up, partially his fuck up. But he'll be on Wednesday.
Yeah.
AJ Bro was in the neighborhood, getting pumped, my friend. getting solid. You've been lifting the weights. How steady are you lifting now?
I try to get 3 days a week, but shit gets crazy sometimes, and I can only get 2.
Dude, if I stop for just a couple weeks, I start at 51, you start getting so weak, even on TRT. Everything starts slipping. Your body's like, no, we don't need to be lifting that
I'm
shit.
sore as fuck.
sure.
I've been rolling with little people the last few months.
Like what kind of little people? Hobbits?
I wish. Shit, I fucked them up.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think hobbits would be extraordinarily strong. The hairy feet? They
Yeah,
probably have a
footlocker.
lot of like some kind of... No, man, I bet their feet are fucking so strong. You can never foot like a
Dude,
hobbit.
have you seen the size of their heels?
They have giant heels, but I bet their ligaments and shit are different. I bet.
Inside heel, I'll
that's
fuck
weird
them up.
because they're all bare. This is weird about the hobbits, right? They're barefoot. They got furry ass feet. They have giant feet because obviously they had to wear those feet over the shoes. But even in the books, didn't they said they had big hairy
Dude,
feet
look at those
even in the
feet.
books? Yeah,
I
that's
toe
hobbit
hold the
feet, bro.
shit out of that. Easy toe hold right there.
Maybe. My thinking is if their feet are that hairy, they go, oh, Jesus Christ, what happened to that lady? Don't do this to me, Jamie. This is a podcast.
Is that
What the
a
fuck are you
person?
doing? That's
Oh,
gout.
damn.
Someone's got gout inflammation. No, man, that's real. Did you think that was a Hobbit picture?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's
It's all Hobbit
hilarious. Oh my God, Google image got you again.
Isn't that elephantitis?
That's an algorithm. That's the Russians. They're trying to fuck with the show. No, what that is bunions, first of all. That's a painful thing that happens to your big toe. Some of it's genetic and some of it is putting your toes into pointed shoes for like long periods of time. Like people who have to go to work, like ladies in particular, they wear like super uncomfortable shoes that smush their toes up like that. Your toes aren't supposed to be like that.
I've seen this thing on Instagram where they could fix that now.
Yeah,
like
they
rubber
can-
bands.
Yes. Well,
You think that's real?
Well, they have yoga toes. There's some shit that you use that you shove your feet in between these like styrofoam things and it stretches them out.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's supposed to be good for them. Vibram shoes is good.
They still make those?
I run in those.
Did they
son.
get sued or something?
They did get sued.
Propaganda?
By a bunch of pussies.
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of people. I hurt my
Hey, I used to wear them too.
Yeah, look, man, they're harder to run in. No
They
bullshit.
feel good though. I like them.
I like them.
But once
they
all
make
that
you grip the ground.
all that shit came out that they were like a fraud. They were a scam.
That's
and
not
all
what
that.
it is. I think they had made improper claims. If I'm not correct, if I'm correct, if my information is correct, I think they made improper claims. I think that was what the word was. The word was that they had said some shit and that people had gotten injured. Like they said it would keep you from getting injured. It's all based on this idea that you're supposed to run barefoot.
Yeah, they said Mexicans
Strengthen
run
your feet.
barefoot.
Yeah,
Like
in the mountains.
Mexico was like, "Fuck you, we got
Bro,
shoes."
but those guys up in the mountains that they're talking about in that book, Born to Run, I feel like they have, some of them made their own shoes with like tires. Like they cut tires and made their own shoes and they're running like 100 miles up there. Something crazy like that. Like they have insane endurance and they live up in that mountain and they just run around. Oh, speaking of Mexicans, one of the main reasons you're here, I want to talk to you, is because you're my favorite Mexican. And now we have a Mexican-American heavyweight champion of the motherfucking world.
That's crazy.
How crazy is that?
That's insane. I can't
Viva la
believe it.
Mexico.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I didn't know Mexico had a heavyweight boxer.
Oh my God, Andy Ruiz is the shit. He
Yeah.
is the shit. He's what America needs right now with all this border wall crisis shit. A heavyweight champion that's Mexican.
Yeah.
Come on, son. And one that's fucking good and one that has a big belly. And he knocks out a dude who looks like he's chiseled out of granite. I mean, no one has ever had a better body than Anthony Joshua. You've only had a different body. No one's had a better body. He's like, what is he, like 6'7" or some shit
Can I
like
see
that?
him? I don't
oh my
even know that
God,
guy.
dude, Anthony Joshua was one of the best built heavyweight boxers of all time.
And he's legit. He was the champ and all that.
Olympic gold medalist, the champ, knocked out Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, he's a fucking monster.
From
man.
the UK?
From the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the champ. And he was supposed to fight Big Baby Miller. And Big Baby Miller tested positive for the Mexican supplements, ironically enough. Boom. That's Anthony Joshua. I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on, son.
Yeah.
How tall is he? Because he's gigantic.
He's got a 12-pack.
Because Andy Ruiz looked short in that fight. 6'6".
Shit.
Yeah, but
That's huge.
Ruiz is like 6'2". He just looked tiny when he's standing next to Joshua. Joshua's a giant of a man. And just fucking jacked. What does it say his weight listed as?
249.
249. I wonder if that was for the last fight. Because I'm sure with a giant dude like that, it varies back and forth. But, so I was out to dinner, and I get a text from Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub hit me with the spoiler alert. He said, fuck, Joshua got knocked out. And I was like, no! And I go, what happened? And he goes, he got fucked up in the 7th round.
By a Mexican.
And he goes, I'm sick. I go, you're sick? I go, I'm happy as fuck. I couldn't wait to come home and watch it. I love when crazy shit happens. This is my favorite thing in fights. Look at that guy. Look at no disrespect, champ. But he jokes about it himself. I'm trying to get him in here, too.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Look at his body. I mean, it looks like a regular dude.
What if he got shredded? How much would he weigh?
Why would he get shredded?
No, but if he
Get the
did,
fuck
though,
out of here.
he might be a middleweight,
I
right?
would, I would feed him on the sneak tip. I'd wake him up in the middle of the night with some great Mexican food. That dude needs to stay exactly how he is. See, look, he's got muscles under there. Like, look at his stomach. He's just got some body fat on him. But here's one thing. If you do have great cardio, one thing that body fat can do is it can protect you somewhat. It's like wearing 8 sweaters. I've joked around about this before, and people think I'm bullshitting, and I kind of am a little bit, because I know most of the impact gets in there. But if you were going to fight a guy, and right before you fought him, he puts on a vest made out of fat and meat and stitches it up, and it sticks out like fucking 10 extra inches. You'd be like, hey, what is all this? What are you doing? You can't put that on. And then if you hit him to the body and he barely reacts, you'd be like, fuck, I can't believe this guy's cheating with this fat vest. Think about that shit. If you
Yeah.
have good cardio and you got some fat around your gut, that shit might protect you. Look at Daniel Cormier.
Yep. Fedor.
Look at Fedor. You're dealing with these giant dudes who can fuck you up with one shot. There might actually be an advantage to having a gut, and that's not bullshit at all. It's not ideal in the lower weight classes.
Bring back guts. He brought back
I'm
fanny
bringing back
packs.
guts. I'm
Dude.
bringing back. I'm thinking of growing my own.
Dude, how great
Tired
would
of
that
being
be?
healthy,
Oh.
barely hanging on. Tired of working
if
out.
chicks only dated dudes with guts?
That could be the new thing. Yeah.
Dude, that was amazing. Are you kidding?
Did you see that GIF on Brendan Schaub's page of DJ Khaled? Is that how you say his name? who's a big fella himself, climbing out of a golf cart with a shirt open. Like, let me show you this. I don't want to read the caption. See, my problem with sharing this is I want to know who the fuck made this because it's really funny. I wish I knew the dude to give him credit. You know? Oh, it says it there. The creator of the GIF.
Can I see it?
Yeah. Put it up on there for him, Jamie. Hold on, Jamie's got might be a problem. Copyright issue. Somebody might have stole it from somebody else. You got to talk in the microphone. People. Are listening.
Somebody else might have stole from someone. I'll just put it up though.
Okay. Look at this. All the big men headed to brunch with their shirt open today after the Andy Ruiz win. He's bringing back guts.
Dude, that would be amazing.
And dude, he's super friendly. Like, really nice guy. Thanked his mom. So he told his mom after the fight, we don't have to suffer anymore.
We did.
It's just changed our lives. It's beautiful. It's pretty.
I was crazy into boxing before I saw UFC 2. Once I saw UFC 2, I kind of just dropped boxing. But I was way into boxing, had stacks of Ring magazine all over my house. I wouldn't throw them away. I was way into it. And all we had as Mexicans in the heavyweight division was Alex Garcia. Remember him?
Yeah.
He broke the top 10.
Yeah.
He was up there for a little bit, but he just, that's the closest we ever got. Unless there's been someone else since then. This was like 1990. I haven't followed boxing at all.
Well, that's why it was big for Mexican Americans when Cain Velasquez was the UFC heavyweight champ. That was the first ever Mexican heavyweight champ in combat sports.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah. It's weird though in MMA, people aren't racist in MMA really as much as boxing. Really racist. Like boxing, I'm always going for the Mexican. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know?
Well,
what I mean?
We talked about this, but in MMA, you go for the jiu-jitsu guy.
I don't care what nationality you are in MMA.
Or I go for like if someone's fighting Melvin Manhoef, I don't necessarily want Melvin Manhoef to win, but I definitely want to see Melvin Manhoef go Melvin Manhoef on somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, watching
There's
guys
certain guys.
watching guys that are known for their knockout power,
Yes.
and I like watching those guys too.
Even if they're fighting a jiu-jitsu guy, right?
I don't want them to win,
Ejibra. 2, 1, boom. All right, we're live. 2, 1. And that's probably the way to do it. We're cutting in right now. Pow! 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 Pow!
So what do they have?
Tell me about the tour bus.
This tour,
Are you
okay.
the tour bus champ?
No, he's not. let's hold up on labels till we hear the story.
I've only won one victory in this whole thing.
Who's the tour bus champ? You came so close to the weight loss.
You did come close.
And then we had one year where it was like socialist. It was like Marxist. No one could lose.
Yeah.
Even if you lost, it didn't matter.
Oh, I like that. That
We
was
had one
camaraderie.
year. Yeah, it was a good year.
This year's got to be a good one.
Listen, last year I almost killed myself.
Yeah, we got to do it differently than that.
You were peeing fucking purple.
It wasn't purple, but it wasn't the right color.
What color was it?
I was worried I
The
had
brown.
rhabdo. I was worried, but it wasn't. It was just dehydration, severe dehydration. There was days where I would drink literally like fucking gallons of water.
Yeah.
You don't want ice?
I'm gonna try it without first.
You're crazy. I was drinking so much. I was drinking water and I was adding salt to it. I was adding Himalayan salt to the water just because I know I was dehydrating myself so much. I would have puddles on the ground.
And that still wasn't sufficient. Like that.
Dude, I set off an alarm.
I remember that.
I set off a fire alarm in the gym from my sweat. Crazy that is?
I've never heard of that. Of course.
I still have PTSD from last year's Sober October.
Dude.
Like I get text from you guys and panic sits in my heart and I go, wait, what does
My
it say?
wife gets it. She thinks I'm crazy.
For sure.
I moved and
It
I just,
upsets wives. You're the
Yeah.
only one
Yeah.
who it hadn't
Yeah, you got lucky.
ruined the home life.
yeah. If I come to New York, it would have been. LA, it would have been terrible to be here for an extra month. But like, I saw that fucking stupid device when I was moving. I opened up a drawer and I was like, and I didn't even want. I was like, get it out of here. I don't want to touch it.
Chucky. It's like Chucky, the little doll.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you. Look out!
Yeah, man.
I think Leanne and Push are going to podcast this entire Sober October.
Yeah.
Don't
Just how
let
much
her.
they
After
hate
she
us.
threw you under the bus
Yeah.
in the fucking radio station, tell that story. The audience didn't hear that story. Tell that story.
You guys should do wife swaps.
Tell that story.
They were asking about drugs and how hard I party, and I was just talking shit. And I was like, I smoke a little bit of weed. Every now and then, if cocaine's on a switchblade, I'll hit it. But for the most part, I only do mushrooms once a year. And Leanne just heard me, and she's making breakfast for the girls. She goes, he doesn't do mushrooms and he doesn't do cocaine. He's got high blood pressure. I'm like, bitch, I'm trying to move tickets in Dayton.
Oh, she threw you under the bus.
Body Shots World Tour fall dates available now.
Is it available right now?
Dude, yeah,
Right now.
BurtBurtBurt.com.
It's weird.
You sound like you're coming off a coke bender.
We're all touring hard.
Dude.
But think about it, Tom. Like when you first started going on the road with me, you're way further ahead now than I
Then he
was
was the
back
feature.
then. I was.
Oh, right.
When he was opening for me, we were
Yeah,
doing
doing
clubs.
theater.
Yeah, we were doing clubs.
We were
Yeah.
doing all clubs.
think-
We started to do theaters when you started to headline your own places.
That's true. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Dude, it was quick.
I was
man.
thinking about that level you were at that we all thought was like, damn.
Well, yeah. I mean, you
And
know
then
why?
it's-
Yeah.
It's because like you know someone. You're like it's accessible.
Yeah,
Right. So you're like,
right. It seems normal.
Right,
Like, it
you're like-
makes sense. Like, oh, I could sell out this whole weekend too.
Yeah.
And then when you do, you're like, oh shit,
Like
I'm a
what?
fucking
Yeah.
comedian. I'm a real comedian. I sell at a club.
And it's just because we got in shape.
I didn't even think about it.
It's just because of Sober October.
Just because it's
That's
so
all it was.
October. I didn't think about theaters back then. Like when we were all
Right.
in the club. I never
No,
thought of
we
that.
were just doing clubs.
Yeah.
Like I had done a couple of theaters here and there, but for the most part, it was just about just working.
Yeah.
That's what Dice said. He was like, what do you want to do with the career? I was like, oh, I'd like to have clubs. He goes, why not theaters? I'm like, I couldn't do theaters. He goes, why? Because you said you can do whatever you want. And I was like, all right.
Dice got me to go on the road. He really planted a fucking seed in my head one day in the back parking lot of the Comedy Store. So why don't you do the road? I said, I don't know. He goes, hey, don't fucking just hang around here. And he's like, you can make a good living. He goes, you don't need these fucking TV guys. And I was like,
right.
wow, he's right.
Oh.
I was thinking about it. I was like, he's right.
Dude, that's changed my life. I've said this a million times, but you and Bill Burr in the back of the store telling me your show's not that good. You should just stick with stand up.
Well, I just
Yeah, and-
knew that you were way better than that. I'm like, you're not even doing your stand-up justice.
Yeah.
Like, I'd see you do stand-up, but it's like you hadn't done it in 5 months. You'd been fucking Thailand or some shit, swinging off of a tree by your dick.
On a roller coaster with some special
You were
people.
just also, I was worried you were going to get killed. Like, you were doing so many different things in so many different places. I called him up once. He was drunk on a motorcycle in Vietnam. Yeah. I'm like, great. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in Vietnam, I'm drunk.
He also
Ride a
learned all these.
motorcycle.
He learned these completely unnecessary life skills.
Yeah, that you
Like,
can apply to anything
Yeah,
in
he's
your
like,
life.
do you know how to ride a unicycle? I was like, what? He's like, I learned in Rome.
I could do whatever I want to know.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Is that harder than one of them hoverboards? What's harder?
Oh, dude, those hoverboards in the ocean.
On the what?
No, I don't mean that. I mean the things that the kids roll around on.
Just a wheel in the middle
Two
and you-
wheels. No,
those
the
are-
wheel in the middle. Rich rebuilds. You know that YouTube channel. Do you know who he is? Rich
Yeah.
Benoit. He's a YouTube host, and he fixed his. He's like the first guy to ever build a Tesla. He bought a junk Tesla that somebody had let get flooded with water, and he's just a really smart guy, and he's a tech guy. So he's like, okay, what the fuck is in that thing? Like, how do I fix this? Like, so all the wires were fucked up, the battery was toast. So he bought a crashed one, and he took the battery and the engine out of the crashed one and put it in the one that he owned, and then rewired and went through this crazy process to get a Tesla to work that he eventually did. And now he has his own garage. It's what's called the Electric Garage in Massachusetts, where he rebuilds these Teslas. But what was my point? Oh, he had one of those with a big ass fat tire where you're riding on it like a skateboard. That's hard.
That looks hard.
That's hard to do.
I'll tell you, I almost killed someone on a Segway one time. I was in Rome and we were on Segways and I was just screwing around and then I just hopped off and I didn't realize that when you hop off, if you're leaning forward, it keeps going. And this thing started whipping around me, just and we're in like a big piazza and I let go of it. Didn't hit anyone, but everyone around us was standing dead still like, oh my God, I would have been bodied right there.
You're supposed to dive on it like a good hero.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Like
are
it's a
fun those?
grenade.
There's no way you're doing that.
You wouldn't dive on it?
No way.
You'd have to take it for the team.
He'd let 15 people die.
Just walk out casually.
So I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Those hoverboards that are attached to jet skis where you go like 40 feet up in the air.
Oh, those are crazy.
Those are fun as fuck.
That
Oh, I
looks
want to see
fucking
those.
cool.
Those do look cool. I like the guys who like get it turned over and like no big deal, and then it starts to go down and they just with extra speed just shoot
What
into
are
the
those
fucking
called?
water.
What are they? The
Widowmaker.
Dude, those things are fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Legit, yeah. I could do a backflip
everything.
on one. All you got to do is like fall backwards and then kick your feet around. I picked up on that one quick. Yeah, there's a lot of useless skills I have from Travel Channel.
Dude, you traveled so much.
Oh my God.
all
It
this-
always bothered me. You know why it bothered me? Because I would have probably done it too if I was you. And I was like, God damn it, how do you get out of that? Because I know that feeling. Like you have the best job ever. You're on a TV show. You're like, oh my God, I have the best job ever. I'm on a fucking TV show. But yet you're still like, fuck, I got to get out of this.
Yeah.
It's weird because you do get to go to really cool places and get paid for it.
Yeah, that was cool. But you also, I mean, you weren't
It's good
thrilled
starter
because
job.
you missed stand up more.
I missed stand-up. Well, what was
It's the most
happening is
fun.
Tom's career was exploding at the time. The day I fell off a waterfall. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was in Aspen and Push called me and she's like, I'm talking to Tom and he's talking about these one-nighters, but I want to do the funny bones. I was so far removed from stand-up. I didn't even know you could do one-nighters. I didn't know that theaters were an option. And I think I was at a store a week later and you were like, Tom's doing like legit theaters. And I remember just going, what if I just missed it entirely?
You could have, and some people do. We
Yeah,
all know
some people
guys
do.
that were really funny back in the day, and then they somehow or another quit.
Yeah.
It fell apart.
Dude, what if you had been like, I'm going to lean into Travel Channel?
Dude, I was.
Oh,
I was.
What if you became a Christian, like super Christian, got a cross tattoo on your arm just to let them know
Yeah.
you're really down with them?
I'm sure your reps told you all those things.
Yeah, you have to go to church. Go to church with a fucking golf shirt on.
Oh, man.
Dude, when I got fired from Travel Channel, my world melted down. That was right when we were getting fat shamed. I was getting fat shamed. Leanne scheduled
I like how you say we were getting fat shamed as if you guys weren't in on the fat shaming.
But hold on a second.
Didn't
You're
happen to
saying
you.
you're saying you were getting fat shamed, but you got to let people know, like, you don't really believe in fat shaming. You weren't really getting fat shamed.
Hold on.
He
No.
felt it.
At the time, it
Do
was
you
very
really think that's a
one-sided.
real thing?
At the time I got fired from Travel Channel, I definitely was one-sided, and I
Right.
felt it hard as fuck.
Your friend was fucking with you because he was worried you were going to die.
He went
That's
on
what
Conan to
was.
do it, though.
Yes.
He did it on a major platform.
Yep.
It wasn't like morning radio. He was on another level.
He
Like,
put it on his fucking special on Netflix.
dude, imagine taking a Conan appearance, which was massive at the time, and you go, nah, I'm going to use this for fun. I'm not going to try to promote myself.
DJ Dadmouth is my favorite character that anybody's ever brought
thanks,
to a
man.
morning
With the
TV show.
That was
when you used to do that.
that was so fun.
I loved that you were doing that because I hated those shows. I was like, why would he do those shows?
Morning TV is
but
terrible.
then when you do morning TV dressed up like a fake rapper,
She
you
did. This
for people who
lady-
don't know, Segura created a character called DJ Dadmouth, and he would just show up places, and the people did not know what the fuck to do with him because the lowest rung in all of show business is morning television
Local
host.
morning television.
I'm so sorry if you're listening to this and you're a local morning television host. Like I used to deliver newspapers. Okay,
Yeah.
we all have
Way
bad
better than
jobs.
morning host.
It's one of the lowest rungs in all of show business. It's a weird rung where you're trapped.
the
It's
worst.
like you're broadcasting out of like a Christian convenience store or something. It's very strange.
The worst part too is that the four of us plus like 90% of the acts working those clubs do not have a fan base watching that show.
No
you know what I
way.
mean?
No
so
way.
you put it together, you're like, this is definitely a waste of time. Like we're wasting our time right now.
Yeah.
And then if that's the only one that morning,
Yeah,
where
you're
like,
like-
you woke me up at fucking 6 to do this?
To do Good Morning
5
Hartford.
minutes.
It only works when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like you get like I remember one time I got shirtless and went up in the weather and started saying there's thunderstorms. Tom did DJ. Have you ever seen Mark Norman's?
Mark Norman's is great.
When he just goes up and she goes, "How you doing?" He goes, "Kind of gay. Let's get this started. Hungover, horny. Look at you." I mean, he just destroys, but totally ruined the relationship for the club.
Oh,
Really?
Did he really?
100%.
No, I went in there
How about
afterwards.
Tracy Morgan?
Tracy Morgan's was my first one.
Yeah,
was
that's the
the
fucking
best.
legendary
We're gonna
one.
get pregnant up a hill.
That's the one where he
Yeah,
talks.
he's like, someone gonna get pregnant.
Horace
Hear
Grant,
that?
holla. Yeah.
He starts slapping. That's my mating call.
Yeah,
But
that
they're
was
dying. They are dying. When he does that big one in Chicago, he was in Chicago for sure, because I know he kept hollering at bulls to give him a, like in the middle of it. And yeah,
Squirt, come up.
He just crashed.
Yeah.
He just crashed his $2 million Bugatti today.
today,
Yep, a Honda sideswiped him.
Whoa.
In Hell's Kitchen.
He got-
Some
I got hit by-
dirty
he got hit by a Walmart
Honda
truck.
driving savage ran into a $2 million Italian sports car.
Damn.
I did a show with him like a year and a half ago, one of the oddball shows, and he came in a all white Rolls Royce with a professional, like with a driver, you know, like a chauffeur, and he came in all white and had like a fucking enormous gold chain with a medallion
Yeah.
TM, and I was like, that chain looks crazy. He's like 600,000, some crazy shit.
Dude,
This is
look at
today.
this. Yep. Look at
You
this.
gotta know-
Look at this guy sideswiped Tracy Morgan's convertible $2 million Bugatti.
What?
He's letting people know.
Well,
What's
in
he
the
even
Honda's
wearing?
defense, the Honda's defense, it's a very low car. He has a high car. He probably looked over, saw nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Didn't know it was a car that was like 2 feet off the ground. It's such
Yeah.
a small car.
do you
Those
think-
cars are so hard to see if you're right next to them.
What does that dude's insurance say when he calls?
You what?
Yeah. I don't know if we can cover this.
You
You're covering
dumb
it.
fuck! That'll probably be like the final straw.
Yeah.
Probably kick him off the contract.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that Tracy Morgan interview? That was kind of had to be an inspiration doing the DJ Dadmouth, right? To me, that was the first one I remember. Like, whoa.
I guess. I mean, like,
someone could fuck with
you
them.
could fuck with them in that way. Yeah. I mean, it was funny because some people would be really into having fun with you, like the Tracy Morgan people, where they laugh and they have a good time, and then some people need, like, I could see how a club relationship could be, because we left one of the clubs when I told them I was coming out as non-binary, and the lady was like, "What?" This is like on the air, and I was like, "Different genders," and she was like, "All right," and she just turned to the TV, and she was like, "Ugh,"
She just wasn't
and then
into
she
it.
called. We called the PR person that drove us to the club or to the event.
Didn't
you know.
realize she's in the car
Yeah,
with
she
you
goes,
still.
"What the fuck was that?" She was like, "That guy's so weird. Don't bring stuff like that in here." I was like, "That's the whole point. We don't want to come in here."
They think that what they're doing is serious. We're providing a wonderful morning show for downtown Pittsburgh.
You're showing them how to make fucking
tried-
pastrami sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly.
So dumb.
What a great sandwich. Hey, thanks a lot.
We've got
Thanks
the
for coming
Christian
down
youth group's
here.
going to sing for us next.
I tried
Yeah.
shitting on the last time I went to Cleveland. It was the normal. That's why I know the relationship's still fine. But I was like, there was a doctor before me. I was like, why does he wear his fucking doctor outfit to do this? On the way out, he put a sweater on and left. Why can't that be him? And the guy's like, I don't know.
It feels like you're stepping into like Truman Show stuff. It's so contrived. There's nothing real about
Especially
it.
when there's like a 22-year-old PA or associate producer. One time I went in and I said, "Yeah, I'm already drunk from doing radio." I go, "Just put the mic on my necklace." And she goes, "Why?" I go, "I'm going to take my shirt off." She goes, "You will not be doing that." And I said, "You don't tell me what to do." She was like, "Excuse me, I'll be right back." And then came back and she goes, "What is in your cup?" And I said, "Whiskey." And she was like, "He's drinking.
She told on you?
Oh my God. And I was like, we should probably leave.
So you just left?
I just left. I was like, I don't want to get anyone fired.
She's telling you you can't take your shirt off. It's
Or have a
hilarious.
drink.
Yeah.
or have a drink.
I love how it's like she's telling you like she found something out. You're like, I was pouring it in front of everybody. Like, I don't want to drink out of the bottle.
She thinks she's at an insurance company.
Yeah.
It's hilarious when people don't know what job they're in. Trying to take it more seriously.
If one of those morning shows fucked off like the way we're talking about, it'd be like the best morning show.
It'd be
It would
great.
be so much better. than what
Tom
we're doing.
Green had a great what I'm remembering now, back when he
He's
was like
got it.
public access.
Yeah.
And he's trying to promote his public access.
Oh,
It
yeah.
became the Tom Green show, and he just took over.
He did some crazy
Pies
shit.
in the face. Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what's amazing is like him and then that other dude, Jamie Kennedy. They did their best shit where they were like pranking people,
Jackass.
and then they just stopped.
Yeah. Man, but Tom's blew up so crazy.
So crazy.
When Tom
that-
Green was on, I couldn't. It was stuff I couldn't even believe.
Tom Green did Oprah.
Wow.
Oprah.
Did he really?
Yes, Oprah was like, we're gonna like this. It was such a phenomenon what was going on. The show was so big.
He milked a
that,
cow
like,
with his mouth.
Yeah, he put Slutmobile on his
Oh
dad's.
my
the hood
god!
of
And his
car.
parents, and then hid in the bushes.
Yeah.
He didn't just like let me fuck this random people. Like my mommy and daddy.
Did people forget? Did people forget Tom Green? What happened?
People forgot.
No,
he got
he's-
ball cancer, had to take a break, came
Yeah.
back and tried to do like a more serious show with Humperdinck. What's this guy's name?
But what I'm
His
saying
helper?
is people forgot how big it used to be.
Oh, they may
people
have forgotten how
forgot.
big
People
that was.
Well,
yeah.
what he, in
Tom
all
Green
fairness,
was one of the man.
what
Giant.
he did was he did what we're all doing way before any of us, but it was when bandwidth was too expensive. He
Right.
did. He had his own
Public access.
podcast.
I did it.
You did?
I did it at his house. It was part of the inspiration for me doing one.
Yeah, and
I even
Oh,
talked
really?
to his yes. I even talked to his company. They were based in Denver. I was in Denver doing the Comedy Works, and I talked to the company that was doing it for him. And I was seriously considering doing something like that. But the problem was that the bandwidth was crazy expensive. He had cables running from the desk all the way through his living room into a server room. He had a server room
At his house.
and it was crazy. I go, how much money is involved in this? He's like, a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
And he goes like, I have to have all these people running it too. That was Tom Green's. That's
Oh,
me and
shit.
Tom Green. And what essentially it was he decided to try to do a talk show host.
I remember that Joe Rogan, the fucking long sleeve under the short sleeve.
That's my look, bro.
That Joe Rogan.
I had my look for a while.
With the torn jeans. You were like, I'm not coming to Hollywood.
Giving up.
That was all based on one
crazy.
switch he had in his house.
I know.
He just
Yeah.
go on and flip a switch, and the show went on and went live.
So me and Red Band looked at it and we're like, well, how much is involved in this? Like, what would we have to do something like this? And then, eventually it just led to with that and Cumia. Anthony Cumia was a big
thing. Yeah.
He had that live from the compound in his basement. And then the way that Opie and Anthony ran their show was an inspiration too, because it was just a hangout, and it was my favorite show to listen to.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of guys hanging out, talking. I was like, that's what I want to do.
4 hours of them eating oatmeal. I remember they just eat oatmeal, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah." I was a big fan back then.
On the
Okay.
show, they would eat oatmeal.
Oh, you tune in early
On
and they'd be
O&A?
eating- on O&A, and they'd just be eating breakfast
Oh,
and just go
God.
in. Jim would take a shit and be gone for 30 minutes because they didn't have any. When they first
Fat
started,
Jim.
they
Fat
didn't
Jim
have
Norton.
Fat Jim
Back in the
Norton.
day. Back in the day.
Yeah.
They didn't have any advertisers, so they had to fill 4 hours of content. So they literally,
What?
everything went. Yeah, when they first started on SiriusXM, they had to fill 4 hours of content.
Oh, yeah, no commercials
There's
back
no
then.
commercials. That was the
Isn't that
pitch.
crazy that Sirius said, "Hey, we don't have commercials."
You pay
and
for it.
then you pay for it,
Yeah,
and then they
and
just started
okay.
selling commercials. Like, wait a minute, aren't I fucking paying for this?
Yeah.
And you got commercials too?
Yeah.
That's because Howard got to get to the paper, kid.
It's weird. People at the helm have no fucking
gets
integrity.
caked up.
It goes down.
He gets caked up. He gets caked up still. No matter how. I mean, he's locked up in a contract for Liz Life, son.
I thought it was about to come up.
Whatever. He wants more money.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sure that's what Howard would do. But he makes a ass load of money.
Yeah.
There's no one even close. There's not
No,
even a second.
dude.
No, second place is
He has
distant.
huge, he's a huge shareholder.
Do you remember that lawsuit too? They're like, if we can get over, let's say the number was 100 million subscribers, I get this gigantic bonus. And then they bought
Serious.
Sirius, and they're like, that took us from 60 plus another 40 is 100. So I get it. He goes,
Is
no,
he-
we acquired that. And
Yeah.
he goes, nah, pay me, motherfuckers.
Pay me, yeah.
And I don't know what happened with it, but
Well,
fucking
but
Jew
I
move
think
right there.
His move. I think his respect. You guys are done with the beef because of
I don't
that?
agree with him. I just think it's retired. But anyway, the point is he did a good thing for this.
But he basically what he was saying was that the only reason that deal took place at all was because he was it Sirius or XM? He was Sirius.
He was Sirius, they were
bought
XM. Opie and Anthony were XM.
Right. So the only reason why Sirius was kicking ass at all was because of Howard fucking Stern. Period.
There was nothing on Sirius other than him.
Yeah, they
No, he
wouldn't have
started it.
acquired. They wouldn't have acquired.
And
XM.
also the model was like so suspect at the time. You're
He
going
was
to
gonna
leave
pay for
terrestrial
radio.
radio,
Right.
and go to a place where people have to pay for what they just turn on.
he deserves it. Here's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
No one else could have carried that
No.
thing. No one else.
He was radio.
He
Yeah.
would, and especially at that time during that transition to satellite, no one else would have got people to commit to having a fucking satellite dish in your car. Remember, you had those stupid fucking antennas that you used to have
Yeah.
to put on your car to get Sirius.
The wire went all the way through your car.
It's gross. This
Oh my
fucking stupid
God.
thing that would stick up like a pigtail out of the roof of your car.
and
you
that
remember
shit,
those?
yeah, and how it would cut out for like
All the time.
you turn any corner.
Anytime there was a building in New
Dude,
York
any
City,
building,
anytime something
any fucking
blocked
tunnel,
it, any
yeah.
tunnel was dead.
The
And
city that
still-
existed in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
Can't really
money
get it.
that company makes, the only reason it's still in
It's 'cause of
business is because of
Howard
Howard
Stern.
Stern.
For sure.
The only reason.
Yeah.
For sure.
This
I
it?
agree. Yeah. I had XM, and it was until Bennington and Opie and Anthony showed up. It was painful. I would listen to Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was cool though. Like 90s rock, 3 different channels of that.
100 different channels. It was
Awesome.
Yeah, it was worth $1
Bennington's
a
the
year.
best, dude.
Bennington's so
Bennington's
good.
great.
He's the
Core.
best.
Dude, he's been doing on stage lately. He did my storytelling show too recently. Did the same thing. Just talking about the good old days of fucking drug addiction in
Oh,
New
he
York.
used to get down, dude.
He describes the city that you're like, oh my god, I want to be there. He
Well,
used
my-
to get
Would you,
down.
well, my
when did you
favorite-
go? What year?
What?
First time in the city.
I went there 6 years. Oh, first time I've ever been there?
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Did you see Times Square when it was Times Square?
Yeah. But I was like, what's that woman wearing a bra? Just a bra. My mom was like,
Crazy that-
whatever.
What they did at Times Square, they turned Times Square into like
gross
a
now.
Disney mall.
It is
disgusting.
It's New York's version of like
weird.
Disneyland. Yeah.
It's
weird.
disgusting.
Yeah. And it's,
it's-
a nightmare whenever you're visiting, and also, like when you're visiting, you're in a car, hey, we need to go to this, and all of a sudden you look up, and you're like, are we in fucking Times Square? Like you're just driving through it. I'm like,
Right.
we gotta get out of here, man.
Right.
Like the
weird.
chaos,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's too commercialized.
Yeah.
So
and
commercial
it's
for no reason.
It feels like you're
Yeah.
everything that makes New York amazing is like gone.
Yeah,
when
I
you're in
used to do a
Times
funny
Square.
joke about
You know
it.
what
That
it
you go for a meeting, and then like you're walking, and people are just looking up, and he's like, "Why is that?" I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm in Times Square."
Yeah.
Fuck.
Who says that?
Jim Gaffigan.
Oh,
that's
that's
funny.
funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's very Vegas-esque. It's like
Yeah.
walking down the strip
Yes, it is. It's like
where the lights and the
it's all it's fake.
LEDs.
It's crazy.
There's no M&Ms. That's not where it was invented.
Yeah.
So
No.
why is it a
Right.
giant M&M store?
And when you used to know what it was like, with like peep shows and XXX everywhere, and it was seedy and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody,
Dangerous.
Yeah, it was dangerous. Like legitimately dangerous.
I mean, the worst time, what, 70s, 80s, right? That was like the worst crime time. Late 70s into the mid to late 80s.
I was hanging out in New York in the 80s when that was my pool hustling days, and I was doing a lot of gigs. I guess it wasn't the 80s. It was the 90s, the early 90s, because by 91 was, I think, the first time I ever performed in New York. 91 or maybe 92.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
But this is like you're just starting out, though, kind of.
Yes.
You would go to Amsterdam Billiards then?
Yes.
Was it? What was
no,
it?
it was Chelsea Billiards. Chelsea
Okay.
Billiards was where we would go to Amsterdam, but Amsterdam was on the west side back then. It was on Amsterdam.
moved.
That's why it was called Amsterdam Billiards.
makes sense.
It was on the west side. It was an awesome place. That's when I became friends with Dom Herrera. Played pool with him in '94 at Amsterdam Billiards. I didn't know he played. Like when I meet a pool player, like a comic who actually plays, I'm
Yeah.
like, Dom could play.
He called me today. I can't wait. I'm doing a
I
podcast.
love that
So
guy.
excited.
I love him so much. But New York was a different place, man. I was around a lot of these like weirdo, homeless, grifter type characters.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of dudes who get arrested for doing 3-card money. Like the pool hall was like the best education of like street culture. Like people who live on the street. I mean, people were basically homeless. Like sometimes they'll stay here or there. Like my friend Johnny was always like staying in people's. He stayed at my house for sometimes. He would stay in these weird little hostels and flop houses in New York and places that didn't have a roof. Like you have walls, but there would be like no roof. So
Cage.
like everybody
Dude,
could hear
I
everybody.
remember, like, as a kid in that era, the perception that you had of New York is like, this is nothing but crime.
Right.
Like, they were just like, this is dangerous. You're not allowed
Well,
to go.
Giuliani, he clamped down on all that shit.
I remember when I moved and I found a place and I came back to get my stuff and I told Neil Brennan, I was like, I don't think they have bars in my back window. Do I need that? He goes, oh, dude, read the crime stats. It's a different city now. It's just not that city anymore.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
lived there
it's
in
the
97
safest
and it
big
was
city in the
nothing.
It was
world.
already safe then.
97, I mean, I don't remember any crime whatsoever, although I did get taken the 3-card money a number of times.
But they didn't force you. You just kept walking
Anytime I
out.
saw 3-card money, my brain, I'm like, I fucking got this. I fucking put money down.
hilarious?
Dude, and they used to have this game where they had a nail and a piece of board and you had a hammer and you had 3 shots to get the nail in.
They had that in Thailand.
Dude, I do
All
that
over.
every fucking time.
So hard.
There were so many
So hard.
hustlers. There's so many hustlers, right? Back in those days in New York.
Yeah.
So many people trying to get off some kind of scam.
Yeah, I've been scammed by a driver in New York.
How? What?
Like, this was not even that long ago. I mean, it was probably like 7, 8 years. Where, no, like, you get in the cab and you're like, if you don't live there, but you kind of know, like, the layout, you're just like, basically, I want to go up, 20 blocks this way, right? And the guy just goes across town and starts going up the opposite highway, like
Yeah.
from where we were. I'm like, what are we doing exactly?
There's already you could track yourself on your phone.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it, like, what are we doing? And he's like, we're going up to I go, couldn't you have just gone up that avenue that we were on? And he was like, I don't know what's going on there. And I'm like, I go, well, this is fucking outrageous. And then when we pull up, I see like the meter going. I'm like, this is crazy. That was supposed to be a 10-minute drive, and it's taken 40 minutes. He goes, just pay me whatever you want to pay me.
What?
Yeah, and I go, okay.
Because he didn't want to get caught.
Yeah, and I
He
go,
knew you were
okay.
gonna say that.
So I go, like, the thing said like $68, and I was like, here's $20. He's like, that's it? I go, you said what you want to pay, so I want to pay. So
What?
I'll see, man. Yeah, but it was he
And
was
he
totally
was cool with it?
Yeah, because he
Scammed
totally
you.
did
Scammed
fuck
you.
me. Yeah,
He
yeah,
scammed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that in Israel once in Jerusalem. When I got there, I was like, take me to Bnei Brak. And I didn't realize I was 3 blocks over. He could have just told me, like, oh, it's
Right.
right there, dude.
Of
But
course.
instead, he took me around the city and then
Yeah.
let me off. And then when I wanted to go home afterwards, I was like, what? It's
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, that's how you find out.
Yeah, that's how you find out.
I found out on my way on that cab ride because I started texting people at the next place. I was like, I was just leaving here and I'm going to see you. should I be on the fucking highway?
Do I need my passport?
Yeah, and they're like, no.
So you didn't speak Spanish in that moment?
He was not
Russian?
from.
See, I would have gone right to Spanish. Gone to a language that makes me feel powerful.
Nigerian.
I got pickpocketed in Florence, and I went into Russian. Every word I knew in Russian, I yelled at the guy, and he ran.
Because he was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
He's like, Russians are fucking
You
animals.
should have yelled out America, you fucking traitor. You should have yelled out America and take your fucking shirt off and said, I'm the machine, and started running after him.
Trump, motherfucker, what?
And then
Yeah,
my wife
what's
yells
up
up
with
behind
that,
me.
bro?
He's scared, more scared of you than you are of him. He doesn't do cocaine. He doesn't do cocaine. He's afraid of cocaine. He's high blood pressure.
Ah, that's hilarious. You should write that down. You should write that down. You should write that whole thing down about you talking about on the radio. That is hilarious.
And
should
then
totally
you know
be doing
what?
that on stage.
Then because the audience is gonna be like, so wait, what do you do? Then you pull out coke and you do a bump.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
still
yeah,
go on.
yeah. Everybody, and then you start making no sense, and then blood comes out of your nose.
Dude, it's an awesome show.
Yeah, you can do meth if you want. If you don't want to do the coke that night.
You take your high blood pressure medication on stage
Chop
in front of the
that
crowd.
up.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
love. You know what I'd love to start growing is cocoa plants. The kind where you just chew the leaves.
I don't think you can grow them here. I don't think the climate's suitable.
You can get there.
Yeah.
You can get there.
I bet you can get some.
You could like organize like a closet with some heat lamps and shit.
Do you think so?
Yeah, for sure.
And just to like chew a little bit.
Well,
and you go
let's,
for a jog.
let's find out. How many people are growing their own coca leaves in the United States?
I don't think anyone would want to.
Why not? Why wouldn't you have?
I would love to.
I think
Don't
you
you
need
want-
so much of it. That's why those fields
To make
are like-
cocaine.
Right.
If you just make those Peruvian leaves, those
You just
old
want to be
women
like
chew on.
one of those
like
bears.
people would be doing that.
I would love to talk to Aubrey Marcus.
It's the crazy
Make it
thing is
happen
when
already.
you chew those leaves, it's actually
Helps.
not bad for you at
It's
all.
great.
It's
And the
good
tea,
for
the
you.
coca tea is great.
I've had that.
Yeah. That'll
tea,
settle
right?
your nausea, you know, like when you, especially you get to like, I'm serious, like
Yeah.
everyone starts drinking it.
Sign me up.
It's great. It's great.
Isn't it crazy that everybody just thinks of this one thing as the processed, chemicalized fucking
Yeah.
version that Scarface and... I mean, how many people have died because of cocaine?
Oh my God.
Good Lord. How many murders? Is there another drug on the planet that has inspired more murders than cocaine?
Yeah, right.
I would love to know murders versus number of dicks sucked for it.
Oh, that'd be a good
So
one.
many dicks.
Way
sucked.
more
So
dick
many
sucked.
dicks sucked.
If everybody got murdered every time they did coke, they don't. But a lot of people get their dick sucked when they're doing coke. Like it might not be everybody, but it's like 30%.
So many.
Right? Because girls can't afford coke too if they're young and they're partying and they're out and some fucking guy comes along with a fat Tracy Morgan like gold chain.
That's how good coke is, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good it is, right? That people are like, for sure, I'll just blow this stranger to,
Oh
to
yeah,
have that.
It's
Dude,
so
I knew
good.
guys
It's so
who
good.
would get coke that didn't do coke. They would get coke just so they have coke.
So have it
Girls-
around for those whore women.
Girls wanted coke.
Wow.
Because some girls, when they want coke, they're like, I am calling somebody and I'm gonna get some fucking coke and I'm gonna leave here.
Wow.
Hold on.
We got some coke. Some of it though
Next
is
thing you
just
know, there's a goddamn orgy going on.
some of it's just girls are like, oh, I know my blowjob is worth stuff, so what can I get out of it? What am I looking for? My brother-in-law told me that he went to Woodstock 2, you know, like what 20 years ago, whatever it was,
Yeah.
and he said this guy got out of one of his friends got out of a long line. This is an Orthodox Jew. Got out of a long line with a bunch of food. Like it took forever to get food concessions. And she goes, look, I'm not waiting in that line. I'll blow you for that food. And he goes, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
She sucked his dick for food.
Yeah.
Food.
It's like
hungry.
that's like a chimp's.
She got a little extra protein. Pow! Pow! We had Be Real from Cypress Hill. And
Nice.
he was showing us the footage of him on stage crowd surfing. He was on stage in Woodstock. 500,000 people in the fucking crowd, and then goes out into the crowd surfs, and they stole his sneakers. They took his sneakers, and both left and the right sneaker, they came to one of his shows, and he signed it in the future.
Wow.
Like, dude, I
took
got
his-
your shoe from Woodstock. We signed it. He's like,
That's
fuck
crazy.
yeah, and he signed
That's
it.
crazy.
Wow.
It's the video of him on stage in front of 500,000 people. It is insane.
I love how the
500,000
Cypress Hill have not wavered at all from their day one.
Not
like we
at
smoked
all.
this shit all day, and then if you open their Instagram right now, it's just like, check it out.
Yeah.
We're fucking 30 years deep into this shit. Like they don't fuck around
His
at all.
Cypress Hill's Instagram, like half of it is weed videos
Yeah.
with like Cypress Hill music in the background.
It's great. Yeah, they're still in it.
Crazy.
It's just videos of people doing wax and dabs and bong hits with Cypress Hill in the background.
That first album is so good.
so good.
Do you think they get high the way we get high?
Dude, I know they do. I went with them. They get way higher than us.
No, but I'm saying, do they like? Are they out of it?
No, man. Look,
He's fine.
I did
Yeah,
his.
right.
I did his
He's doing
show.
his
It's got
taxes
that
like
show
that.
called The Smoke Box.
Yeah.
You can sit
Oh,
in
I
an
saw
old
it.
In the
Cadillac
car.
and
In
get
the car.
high.
By the way, can I just say?
I thought you were an old Chinese guy.
I was barbecued. I wasn't even there.
Are you
I
serious?
was in another dimension. Yeah.
See, I would just have a panic
I saw a
attack.
picture of you, and it looked like you were.
I was like, oh. we smoked so much before we ever got in the car. I was like, I can't believe we're gonna keep going.
And he's like totally normal.
Oh, as normal as could be, son.
those guys,
He's a professional
him,
stoner.
Sendog, Muggs,
Yep,
they're just
yep.
fine.
Yep.
That's not me.
Yeah.
That's me with booze though.
Yeah.
I could definitely probably like I always try to think of like the celebrity I could go beer to beer for and then really hurt them.
Yeah,
Most of them.
most.
Post
Most,
Malone,
yeah.
Post Malone.
You think you can take him down?
Dude,
Oh, you can take down a more. Yeah,
For
young
sure.
guys.
He's a child.
For sure.
Who do you think?
He's a
can-
young guy with scribbles on his face.
Dude, he's an awesome. he's a
Scribbles.
great fucking musician.
Yeah, he's a great
His
musician.
musician's awesome. His tattoos are questionable.
They're odd.
What is Who do you
odd
think
choices.
could really fucking take it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Could I drink you heavily?
And I think if you now this is I've thought about this a lot. If I go for their cocktail and I got to match them cocktail to cocktail, I can keep pace with Stanhope.
What?
That's a big
I
one.
can keep pace with Stanhope.
Jesus.
Stanhope doesn't drink as much as everyone thinks. He just drinks
Every day.
Yeah,
Constantly.
like yeah, it's
Consistent,
Like
yeah.
he's not like he's not
a
like
lot of it's
one
light
after
beer
another
too,
one.
right?
Yeah.
He drinks a lot of light beer.
Stanhope's oddly enough a lot healthier than I think people assume. Ron White would be a tough one.
oh yeah,
Ron White.
That's a
Ron
champ.
White told me
goes.
he gets fucked up every night of the week.
It's possible.
Like every night of the week.
Every night I go
every
to
night he goes,
excess.
every night.
Yeah.
Every night. That's all I know how to do.
Damn.
But he looks like $1 million.
He looks better now than he did 10 years ago.
He's a happy man, I'll tell you that. That's
yeah,
a happy dude.
He looks great.
Yeah.
He's 38 years old.
So, boys, we're brought here for a reason, not just to talk shit.
Jesus.
But we're trying to figure out how to do Sober October this year.
What are we going to
figure
do for
this
Sober
out.
October?
Well, I will. I already
Sober-
have the answer, and I think it's early for me to say it now, so I'll wait till the end.
Oh, you son of
You
a
have your
bastard.
thought?
I know exactly what we're doing.
Okay, so the sober
tell-
part is
just tell.
happening, though, right?
What are we
Sober
doing?
part is sober.
Yeah, we're going sober.
Going sober. Tom's got an aggressive schedule.
I think we should go no coffee.
Okay.
Ooh, really?
Yep.
Ooh, step it up.
That's
Step
not
it up.
sobriety, but
Why?
I'm fine with
It
that.
is.
I drink a
Why?
decent amount of coffee.
Because I think we should make it harder. Like no booze, no alcohol is easy.
No, coffee is
no
its own
coffee.
thing.
Ooh, no water.
It's not sober. You're not sober. You're on a mild stimulant. I think it's cheating.
I think we should go no coffee. I like no coffee.
I like no coffee. No coffee. Only
Wait, wait,
water.
wait. Do we
How about
really-
you can only drink water the whole month?
No other drinks?
Oh, I'm fucking in.
No other drinks.
Sparkling
Just
water.
Would you
No,
fucking,
no,
would you
no.
fucking
You can't
think
have
about something for a
carbonated
second?
water?
Come on, bro.
Come on,
Come on, you
man.
can have part carbonated water. It's just water.
I'm
But I'm
ramping
saying,
up.
like, for
No, that works.
I like where you're
Yeah,
going with
it's
this,
fine.
Joe.
Yeah.
I'm ramping up. I'm ready to go to war.
Wait, only water and carbonated water.
Yep.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
I'll do that.
Oh, so no coffee. So you wouldn't have milk in your coffee. Wow.
Yeah. No
I think
lime, bro.
we should go carnivore diet all month. Nothing but ribeye steaks.
All right, relax.
Why not?
Because you're gonna get that fucking.
I'll tell you what, I'm willing to negotiate. I'm willing to negotiate with what I think our challenge should be for what you think our restrictions should be.
I
Well, what do you think the challenge should be?
have
I know,
an-
I know,
I have an idea of what challenge should be.
Wait,
I'll
you
let
have an
you say
idea?
that your idea
What's
then.
yours?
This is about health, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Health.
It's not.
Health. What do you want it to be?
I think it should be. If mental health is a legit part of health, you should give up your fucking dopamine fucking addictions and
You
get
mean
rid of your
cell phones?
Yeah, get rid of your cell phones and your social media for a month. I get I get why you wouldn't do it because your career. You can email your fucking ladies to fucking post shit for you.
Ladies.
I enjoy social media.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I don't enjoy booze. This is not about not enjoying it.
I think you have a good point with this. I do. I really do. I think about you sometimes when I feel like I've been on like a flight or in a hotel room and I'm like, I think I've been looking at my phone for like 3 hours. I think
And
of
haven't
Ari
gone out.
being
Yeah.
like, yeah, just being like,
I just think it takes the connective tissue away from this challenge to the people that enjoy watching this challenge. I think a lot of people enjoy our
For sure, that will be a problem. I mean, they won't be able to
break my
join in
phone
with
with
us.
a rock. Let's do it.
And then November 1st, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you guys did Sober October. I forgot about that."
I could get each of you an Alcatel. I could, and I understand. I'm not like Joe who says do what I do, and then I'll just fucking have an easy time of it. I will go with no cell phones.
Okay.
I will do beyond what I already
Okay,
do.
let's.
I didn't do what you guys did though. Even though I did some
You were
yoga.
already doing yoga every
But that
day.
was no
You slowed it
challenge.
down to join
That
us.
was no challenge. But that was no
I know it was a
challenge.
challenge. It was a challenge for us. It was only a challenge for you.
But I'm saying it wasn't a challenge in that like there was no contest. If it was, I had to do yoga the most. Like I do.
Oh,
it
right, right,
wow,
right, right,
Maybe
right.
that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the most 90-minute yoga class.
No,
I've ever
no,
done.
no, we're not doing that.
I like that.
No,
How
we're
about
not
who
doing
kills
that.
the most elks?
Time to go to war.
Whoever kills the most elks and can reverse
Time
sear them.
To go
all right,
to
so you hear
war.
his mental health. It's a good point. We definitely look at these fucking things.
You
too
can
much.
also get a legit real camera if you wanted. Film stuff. Give it to your fucking assistants
and have it posted.
Post this,
So you could have it posted.
Figure this out and post whatever you need to.
How about-
How about this? How about this? We run the most miles in a month.
Just
wins.
track it.
Yep,
Let's have
we
it sometime.
track it. We
Wait,
run.
let me just go for a baseline right now. How many miles a month do you run right now?
It's up there, man.
Okay. What about you, Bert?
It has to be real running. I want it on
Real on the
GPS.
ground?
I don't want that bullshit on a fucking treadmill.
Ooh,
That's
the
not
Rock's
real
got new
running.
shoes with a Bluetooth capability in them. Yeah.
We'll wear the Rock's
up,
Under Armour
Dwayne?
shoes.
So
We're gonna
What's
run.
that?
We're gonna run for miles.
But it's not fair.
Not shit
'cause
you're
I'm-
already doing.
I'm only running hills, man.
Oh, okay.
how many miles do you run when you go for a run now?
It's no more than an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
So you
same,
probably-
same. I'm
That's
around
like
the
half
same.
a marathon right there.
No.
Up hills?
No.
Up hills, he's probably running 6 miles.
Oh, I'm Kenyan. I
I'm
don't
running.
know what you
I'm
got.
running some steep shit. It's more like it's more sprinting. It's like there's a lot of plyometrics. It's more like that. Like you're not just flat running at a steady pace.
So do you sprint, run,
Yeah,
walk?
I'm
like the
chasing
whole-
my dog too. I'm trying to make it hard. I pretend things are chasing me. I play little
Yeah.
games in my head.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I pretend I have to get to the top where everyone I know dies.
Yeah, you're good at
Rich
this.
shit.
Yeah.
Just give me a hint of that brain.
lava.
Whatever you got in your brain, give it to me a little bit when I work out.
You don't want it.
All
Because
right.
it ramps up. It ramps up. I was
Listen,
ready to go
I
to work.
think
We were working
it
out.
can't-
You know how
listen.
crazy we were going, guys? We were working out like 6,
I
7
know.
hours a day.
That was terrible, man.
But the whole time I was like,
much.
I do zero working out, so this is
You got
all
jacked.
You did
all
great.
extra
You did.
for
You
me.
looked great.
You
Ari.
did.
All right,
To
when
help
you
my
were
fucking
here,
strength.
when we were like 3 weeks into the month and you were here, we did a podcast together and you used my fucking rower. You did an hour on the rower and you were ripped. You have a 6-pack. I was like, look at this motherfucker.
No, I
That
remember
was pretty impressive.
An hour on the rower is real work. That's real work.
you were not going to not get second.
I was not going to go last. That's why I did not want to get last.
Here's what I'm hearing. Ari wants to do a challenge that he already excels at. I get it.
No!
No.
But you
You're
do.
already off your
But
fucking
you do.
phone. And your complaint about Joe is that he keeps logging in things that he is good at. So
Yeah.
I will take care of this.
Sister,
Gentlemen, are you ready?
We're here. We're here.
Let's hear it.
This year's Sober October physical challenge.
Like you're presenting it like a fucking presidential candidate.
It's like an apple.
When
cart.
I
like
win.
It's going to be good.
Hip hop dance. Hip hop dance. Joe, hear me out. Joe,
He's
hear
got
me out.
broken
Joe,
arm.
Joe,
He
hear
can't
me
even
out.
spin.
Let me soft sell you, okay? We each get a choreographer and we work dance classes as much as we can. Dance classes are pretty
And
aggressive.
would we leave it to the audience to vote?
Here, listen, hear me out.
When?
Hear me
Starting
out.
when?
I like that idea, Joe. We can do that. Now hear me out.
Starting when?
We each 1st of October. Right? That's what you do in a pitch. You make them think it was their idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Right, I want you to look over. I want you to look over at that belt. You're never getting that belt.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Hear me, guys. Hear me out. Everyone, listen to me.
Yeah, you should wear that for this.
This could be good.
Oh shit. He's putting the fucking belt on. Oh, okay. All right.
I haven't even touched this thing since October.
Same as me with any sort
It's a
of running.
dope belt, man.
We each got to go to dance classes to get our skill set up. We each work with a choreographer to create our own dance to the exact same song.
Let me know when you're done.
At the end, by the way, I'm selling this to the room.
Are you threading that through your jeans?
No, it doesn't get popped. It's like snaps in the back. It's
At
a
the-
legit belt.
At the end of the, I have a hard time putting belts on too. At the end of the month, come November 1st, we each submit our 1-minute hip hop dance choreography video, and the fans vote on who the winner of Sober October is. Gentlemen, I would like to hear your rebuttals, starting with Tom Segura.
I got to tell you, you
like to
sort
hear
of
what?
mentioned this.
Your rebuttals.
Okay.
Poke holes in
Yeah,
it.
you sort of mentioned that. Here's what I'll tell you what I like about it, because it's
Okay.
easy to say what I don't like about anything that comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
So what I don't like about it, or what I do like about it, is that no one's great at it. I do like that it is a workout because those dancers are an unbelievable fucking
Who do you
shape.
think is the number one dancer right now?
Me, obviously.
I'm going to guess
No.
Bert first, Joe second.
It's not even
You-
close. What are you talking about? It's definitely me.
What?
I'm way better dancer than you guys. You out of your fucking
Tom,
mind?
just because you
He
speak
said
Spanish
so.
doesn't mean you're
He
better.
Oh,
said
yeah,
so.
he
No.
knows flamenco.
Do you know how to dance?
No, but I know I'm better dancer than you guys.
Really? Shit. First of all, I would
What a
give.
fucking bitch.
I
You
would
know
put
that's
Joe up
true.
there with some
I know you're better than
capoeira
me. I'll
shit.
give you that.
Listen, I can do a lot of crazy shit with my body you guys can't do.
That's true, but I'm saying rhythm.
Kid
Come on.
play?
Dude,
Who
I
do
have
the kid
rhythm.
play?
You have rhythm?
Yes.
All right.
Wait, hold on. You have rhythm.
I know I do. I'm fucking phenomenal at dancing.
Well, here's my
Wait,
thought.
keep poking holes in my idea.
Here's okay, but no one.
Joe, you get to
What I'm
close it
saying
down.
is that nobody excels. I mean, obviously I'm better than you, but nobody excels. So I like the idea of working at something that no one's great at, and
Oh, that's me dancing. Oh, that's
No.
right. I danced in
No.
the movie. I was in the movie
Really?
Zookeeper. Yeah, I took dance classes.
Oh, all right.
I danced my ass off, bitch.
I love how the movies make it seem normal that that guy could get that girl.
I know. Kevin
what
James
are
get
you
retired.
talking
Well,
about?
Wait, hold on. Let's see, Joe.
Okay.
Bro, I learned how to dance, like, legitimately. I mean, I'm not good or anything.
Joe, this is hip hop dance we're talking about. Look at his face.
Yeah.
I learned how to dance. Come on, son.
Oh yeah, you did pretty good there.
Actually, are
Dude,
pretty good.
I took fucking dance lessons. I had to do it for weeks.
Who are you dancing with, Nikki Glazer?
Leslie Bibb. She's from Talladega Nights.
Yeah, she's great.
She's great. Very
dancer?
funny person, too.
And I think this sounds like a done
funny
deal. Anyone
Yeah.
else have any
Wait.
rebuttals?
So
Wait, I
the
wanna
last
take
here's the
dance
last thing.
classes.
The last thing that is great.
Okay.
So everybody gets to work at it. Nobody excels too much at it. I think it's funny that we're comics and we get to look silly doing something, like not look great at it. And I'm on board with. I think it's fun that people that watch that or get really into it would have a say in it. You know?
Okay, I'm the only one of the three of us who's not obese, so it would look the least silly for me to doing it.
You're calling Joe fat?
I'm medically obese. I think that's
Okay.
science.
It's all about the BMI, son.
Yeah, it's all about the BMI.
My BMI is off the
So
charts.
wait, you're saying that you are into it or not?
I'm saying I would look the least silly just in terms of that. But you guys, I get why you look silly just moving at all.
We
you
also
look
need
the
to get.
least silly?
Yeah, I'm not a fucking fat
But
man
you
doing
break
it.
yourself always. You're always breaking.
Yeah, break yourself before
You break ankles
Right.
and elbows and shit. You're always breaking things.
I am breaking stuff. That's skiing.
You're
but
super fucking vulnerable.
Yeah, I am. It's a good point. What about injury? What's injury
You're
going to
not
do at this
durable.
point?
No. Dance classes are intense.
Do you really think you're the current best dancer?
Easily.
I think Bart is.
Easily.
He's the one
Easily.
who's out of bars the
Easily.
most.
Yeah, I dance the most out of all of us.
I agree.
Okay.
And so the dance classes are tough. We each get ourselves choreographers, and we create our own dance to the
Don't
exact
get
song.
too hyped up. Because
Wait.
Wait for me to talk about this.
Okay, but the amount of Molly I would have to do to enjoy that dancing.
But you can't be sober.
But I can't be sober.
But you can November 1st. Is that when we post
Yeah,
it?
but
You
the
could
whole
be.
idea is the dance part.
Yeah,
Dancing
yeah.
sober,
Learn how to
bro.
dance
That's true.
Sober.
Dancing
That's true, that's
sober.
true.
Here's problems with it. Problem number one, it's subjective. You can't have something subjective. You can't have something, I think Tom danced better. I think Ari danced better. You can't have a bunch of morons vote for it.
Okay, let me break this down. Piece by piece. Finish up. I'm gonna write.
What if
Finish up all your reasons.
what if the dance pros got together?
That's what I was saying. Professionals.
What, they judge?
Well, yeah, they're
They
experts.
like
Olympic
you
ju-
better.
Olympic judges.
They
No.
like Bert better. They like me better. You don't want that.
No, Olympic judges.
What? Those guys
Olympic
are corrupt.
judges. Yeah,
Olympic
high level.
judges are the most corrupt people in all of sports.
Yeah, but
they
none of them
literally
come
get
from the same
investigated.
country.
They literally go to jail.
But so we have to agree, no bribing
gonna
the
be way
fucking
too fucked up
bribable
for this
Olympic
podcast.
judges.
No, nothing subjective. We got to grind.
Dance is.
No, we
Hip-hop
got
dance.
to make it
Stop thinking we
uncomfortable.
smoke pot.
We got to make it super uncomfortable.
If you want to make it
That's pretty
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Dance
Nah,
classes.
It's all right.
11,
It's just boring.
15 dance classes. Hip hop dance.
There's something about the fitness challenges that are more exciting to me. Because
fitness all the time.
Well, you got in shape too. I'll do something you guys don't do. A fitness challenge you guys don't do,
Yeah.
or that I don't do rather.
Right. Okay, that's what you're trying to say.
That I don't ever do. I'll ride bikes. I don't give a fuck.
Bikes,
Bikes.
Ride
Bike-
bikes everywhere. Ride
bikes
bikes to
are
the store.
accessible.
Ride bikes to
Yeah,
the
but Tom's in
improv.
Europe.
Ride a bike, bitch.
So you go to
I
Europe?
ride bikes over
Yeah,
there.
I'm in Europe in October. For
A lot of those countries over
Have
there.
you scheduled an Australian tour to cancel yet?
It's coming up. I'm announcing it soon.
I know that we've been
But when do you
excited
cancel?
about
When do you cancel it?
I'll cancel close.
Why are you gonna cancel it?
I've canceled before, so
Before?
Just once, though.
No, just once? I think it was twice.
A couple times.
It was
canceled.
twice.
Did you get sick?
yeah.
The only
Sick of
time he's
flying
been
to Australia?
The only time he's been in Australia was opening for you with a UFC ticket.
Really?
No, I went also another time. I did the Melbourne Festival.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in Auckland June 15th. That's Sydney June 20th.
You giving out dates?
Oh, that's when I'll be in Columbus.
Nothing. I know there's a bunch of people that are like, no, we want to be able to vote.
We want to
Listen,
what? Be able to vote. Well, then they're
No
going to vote on
one,
who.
no one's stealing this. You're gonna have to earn this motherfucker.
So you're saying
See
that-
this?
You're
See
thinking
this?
hip-hop hand-
This
yeah.
is mine.
So the
This
flaw,
is mine. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep this. This is mine.
the flaw he's saying is that there's not like a clear, right? That it's
Yeah,
subjective.
you can't leave it in the hands of the judges. Get the fuck out of here. That's rule number 1 for fighting. Never leave it in the hands of the judges.
Okay.
It's not rule number 1. It's probably like rule number.
Yeah, it's down there. First is like, watch
180.
out for leg sweeps.
Keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up.
Get in
Number one. Yeah,
shape.
probably.
Don't smile at celebrities in the audience.
Yeah, do your cardio. Don't eat like shit.
I would love to see those guys day one of jiu-jitsu. It's like, can we leave this to the judges? Like, dude, just fucking worry about locking on half guard.
Rule number 1 is don't leave it to the judges. I need to know. Oh my god, that's funny.
Fuck. I was really behind your dance idea.
Hip-hop dancing would be tough. I do have a gym.
For you homos.
There's a place right nearby me.
Joe, I think you're overestimating your dance skills. Hip hop dance.
It's not dance skills. I'll learn them.
Would it be amount of time in,
No, I know how
in
to
the
move
gym?
my body better. I'll learn them.
You know how to move your body better?
For sure. You don't think I know how to move my body better than you can move yours?
Do you think we get
No.
Shakira
Do you
to
know how
judge?
crazy that is for you to even say that? Do you know how crazy it is for you to say that my physical dexterity and your physical dexterity
They're the same. They're the
Do you know-
I
same.
don't know what you're talking about, Joe. I dance all the time.
Joe,
No,
can
no,
you weeble wobble?
if I got through that challenge and you didn't prepare and you came in last like you did with this last one,
Yes, why is that not the
we
top
would
out
have
enough?
to put a sock in a fucking with a lock in it, like a bike lock, and beat your
I'm
ass.
cool with punishment for this. I'm cool with punishment
That's
for
a
this.
good idea.
A bar of
Real
soap,
punishment.
right? Like
Yeah.
like Full Metal Jacket.
Real
We used to
punishment.
bar
Code red.
soap.
Code red.
Beat you out with a bar of soap and a sock.
In hip hop dance.
I think this is.
Even Matthew Modine got in on that.
This is,
remember?
yeah, he did. That's right.
He hit him too. He felt bad about being.
I don't know if this is the real thing.
So
You don't know if what's the real thing.
I think you need to
Hip-hop
keep pushing how
dancing.
you think guys
no
are the same.
hip hop dancing.
Skateboarding challenge?
That'll work.
If you like,
all judges.
I could see us going through all these fucking things, and Bird at the end's like, "Whoa, you guys beat me! I can't believe it!" Like, you motherfucker, you're talking shit the whole month.
Yeah.
Talking shit the whole month,
Yeah.
and you came in last.
That's my game plan.
That's a good point. You
I'm
did fucking
sandbagging you
dead
guys for the
terrible.
next challenge.
There's no sandbag.
You
son. You
sandbag
fell
for the
apart.
whole fucking October.
You fell apart.
Dude, I fell apart. Okay.
When Ari started posting these giant, he was on the bike for 4 hours. Like, what?
That would
what?
fuck my head up
Tom got
so
sick.
bad.
Fucking
We started off
revamped.
slow. We started off with like 200 points. It was a good day.
It was like that scene in Big when Lovitz is telling what's his name, like, hey, slow down, you're gonna make us all look bad.
Yeah.
You know? And then
Exactly.
we're all doing
Well,
this.
we
Like,
didn't
all right,
know
all right. It's
how-
like, hey, easy.
We didn't know how crazy anybody was going to take it.
We don't know how much we hated each other to really drive us to not be.
Well, I don't know how you looked at it, but I love you guys.
I
love you guys
So
too.
I just thought it was a fun competition.
Yeah, Jesus, Ari.
What the fuck, Ari?
Stand by it.
What was the most amount of points you ever put in a day?
My biggest point day was
You ran 13 miles
one day. Yeah.
Broken up.
No.
No, just I mean like
Just
Kept
ran.
going.
well, yeah, I did it in the hills and just kept ran like to another city, came back.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He ran 13 fucking miles. That was after he was sick for a week.
Yeah, that's
we
what I
almost
did.
dropped off.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he's done. Cool.
Yeah.
That's when we took the foot off the
Came
gas
back.
pedal.
Took the foot off the gas. We
Fucking
should've
Tommy
just-
sandbagged us.
But why did you take the foot off the gas pedal?
We should have waited till he was
Are you talking to
done
me?
for sure.
Yeah.
Because Tom was like, I'm sick. I'm out.
So
And
what?
so I was like, Tom's in last. I don't have to worry. I'm not in last.
Oh, was that what you were worried about?
Yeah, because I was like, I was competing with Tom. Tom and I were neck and neck. Ari was a fucking cunt and would just post numbers in the middle of the night. You'd go to sleep
But he did that
comfortable.
like 2/3 in.
Oh,
he didn't
dude.
start like that.
I posted in the middle of the night because my gym, Blink Fitness, would allow me to work out 24 hours a day. So I'd get off work.
Yeah, it was fucking
I'd get off the
ridiculous.
comedy
Oh,
clubs
God.
and I'd fucking go work out at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
That would
3
fuck
a.m.
my head
posts.
up, man. I'd wake
I know,
up.
because you wake up and you're like,
Blame Esty! Blame Esty for giving me late spots. It's not my fault.
It's all SD. It's tricky, right?
Yeah, you
Exactly.
work out when
There
you
was a lot
can.
of gameplay, but here's what
Oh, I
here's
love,
what
I
I'll
love,
just say
I
this.
realized you guys woke up like, what?
yeah.
I'm not in first.
Look at this. I like this.
Here's what okay.
Keep this.
I think you guys should do a dance off anyway.
Well, he does have that incredible physical dexterity.
You would need a way for judges to decide, but that's not about working out, though, right? Hip hop dancing.
No, hip hop dancing. If you're gonna get good, you're gonna be dancing every single day.
That okay. I won't tell you. I don't like doing it, but that
That
response
reaction was a good response.
is.
Because that's how we felt about everything, Joe.
Somebody showed me a tweet I made recently, like a year ago. I'm like, how did we get from Bert can't run a marathon to all gonna go straight edge for a month? What the fuck happened?
That's exactly what we got from. No,
That
it
is
wasn't
true.
Burke couldn't run a marathon. He couldn't do it faster than your dad did.
Yeah, and then suddenly we're all
80-year-old
straight edge.
plus Holocaust survivor.
And then he was also like, I could run a marathon tomorrow.
Like,
Yeah.
no need to be
Initial
that.
challenge.
Easily.
By the way, I technically kind of did.
Yeah, you did.
I technically did. I did blow the doors off you guys. You were really, really amazed. But I think the real test was that Tom was going to try to roller skate a marathon faster than I
Oh,
could
that
run
was
it.
right. But
Yeah.
he didn't take into account going uphill.
Or the fact that he has never roller skated.
Yeah, but that's easy to learn.
Yeah,
Little
it's
kids
pretty
learn it.
flat, four
It's
wheels.
not like it's like
Plus
fucking
a stopper.
calculus.
What do you think would have happened on the roller skating part?
After running that marathon,
Yeah.
He would have crushed you.
I think you probably would have beat me.
It was a flat. You don't have
The
a
LA
chance.
Marathon.
LA 's pretty flat, right?
No, hold on. LA Marathon was uphill downtown, but once you got past the store, you would have been hauling fucking ass down La Cienega.
Yeah, he would never caught him.
From cellar to the nobody.
you just
would
take
have
them off and
He would
walk
have got
down.
hurt.
Yeah, a couple of roller skating people
Oh,
reached
that's
out to me,
true.
and they were
Yeah,
like,
the hills.
they said like your feet are you're gonna be in rough fucking shape. Like it's not
It
easy.
would blow out his calves.
Hold on, the
A couple
roller
roller
skating
skating people?
community.
Yeah, they reached out.
The roller skating
Dude, I
community.
started.
Hey, bro,
get it
don't take this
from-
lightly. We're warriors.
I get it from people that have been doing it for years, and also
Yeah.
like what is that? The roller derby people. They were like, yeah, you got to be careful.
Well,
man.
just think about skiing for 5 hours. If you
Yeah.
had to ski,
Oh, what greatness
Yeah.
that would be.
yeah, but if
Awesome.
you had to ski for 5 hours straight without going up lift hills, going up the lifts,
Oh, yeah.
up the hills, if you just skied only on your feet for 5 hours, I bet you would be hurting.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
hurt anyway. Your muscles are all sore.
Yeah, my feet are always hurting after a day of skiing. Like Jesus,
Yeah.
because you're always like,
Yeah.
for a tree.
Yeah. No, I would have been fucked up for sure.
You got fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you see me crash, Bert?
Yeah, no, I did, and then I pulled up, and you were like, "Oh, I don't think it's broken." Cut to surgery.
How broken is it?
I had to put a pin in it.
Wait,
A
this
piece
is the
broke
same
off.
cast I saw you with.
Yeah, the big one.
Damn.
Yeah, it's down to this now. No big
So
deal.
you got a pin in there, like a metal
A
pin.
piece broke off. I got some sort of pin.
You know what's
And
good about that? It give one more reason to fuck with the people at TSA.
You're gonna be
Well,
fucking
my
unbearable.
vasectomy did that. They're like, how come something's going off? Everything in your pocket, like vasectomy. It's like, anything in your pocket, like vasectomy. They're like, what about belt? I'm like, vasectomy. And they're like, what do you think it's? I'm like, I had my dick cut, and your fucking stupid thing that you're the head of this company decided we need to buy, it points out that I got a vasectomy.
Really?
How does it know you had a vasectomy?
Because it's a little inconsistent. It's like a hard thing in there. Peanut, you want to feel it?
No.
Yep.
It's your choice.
Interesting. So it's calcified. You got like a
Yeah,
little
something
rock,
like that. Yeah.
rock in your dick hole.
Yeah, so now I'm a fucking terrorist threat.
Damn.
Wait, so I want to ask you one thing about your challenge. Because
Yeah.
you say
No, we're not doing Ari's.
No. I just wanted to
What's
ask him
ours?
something.
Yeah.
That we stay on
You
social media.
suggest to stay on social, but like
That's preposterous.
Yeah.
There's not enough of it. There has to be a second part to that, right? For the month.
What do you mean?
A
Like
physical challenge.
yes, there's nothing physical. Really.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean? Like, is there?
It would just be. We would need a second part because
Yeah.
right, that is just a mental problem.
Yeah.
What would the,
It would, guys. I'm telling you, you're not going to do it. I know how addicted you are. You're never going to agree to this.
Dancing and videos.
It would make your lives. You'd be happier, and you wouldn't know why.
No, I've been off Twitter pretty much, and I'm exponentially happier. Twitter just makes me sad and angry.
reading people fighting is not fun.
Can I show you something?
Sure.
Yeah.
Unlock your phone for me. I won't do anything, but just unlock it and hand it to me. I swear I won't do anything bad to you. I have a code of honor.
Okay.
Riders on the storm. Dun,
Oh,
dun, dun,
fuck,
dun,
I'm
dun.
terrified with what I just gave you.
You know what I'm going to do?
No.
You're gonna look up your time usage.
Yeah, screen time.
Oh, it's gonna be up there.
Okay, so just
I'm
today.
selling tour dates, bro.
Yeah, okay. So today of your life, you have a family, you have 2 kids.
I started morning radio at 5 in the morning
I'm
until
gonna piss.
11.
Hold that thought.
So while you're on morning radio, you're not using it.
No, I was using it entirely to look up who I was talking to, where I was at.
But while you're on there,
Yeah.
you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, what time is it right now? It's 4:26.
Yeah.
3 hours and 9 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. 3 hours and 9 minutes above average today.
Yeah, but today was press. I was
Press
doing
day.
press for the Body Shots World Tour.
Okay, sure. Last 7 days.
Which starts in September, ends November 23rd.
Can I tell you?
Did I
last 7
mention that
days,
I'll be in Auckland?
You actually surprised me. 30 minutes a day.
Yeah. Dude, I fuck with Instagram a lot.
Is that on here? Yeah, Instagram, an hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah. I fuck with Instagram a lot.
That's it. What do you do?
I do. That's it. I don't touch Twitter. I kind of stay away from everything.
That's it yours?
No.
How bad is it?
It's today's not that bad.
Look up screen time for the week.
All right.
Are there totally days I'm totally off my phone?
You don't touch it at all? for the
I'll
whole day?
record stuff and post it, but I don't read comments and stuff. That can fuck your head up. Twitter can be aggressive sometimes.
Wasn't it fun how great it used to be?
Oh, dude, I
News
remember
and some
that.
fun jokes. Yeah.
Dude, my whole thing's about, I only use stuff to promote tour dates. That's it, really.
Tour dates like,
Like Auckland on the 15th of
I did
June.
an hour of social networking, it says.
yeah. What
And
about
then
7 days?
7 days?
7 day.
Okay, hold on.
Hey, let's get more cocktails.
I'm down.
I am pretty
Boomers are
fucking
kicking
high.
in.
Hey, wait, how are we gonna fucking switch him over to fucking hip hop dance?
Slowly.
Slowly.
Yeah.
It starts with me
This is a
thinking
lot,
I
it's
have
a
better
lot.
dexterity.
That's a lot. How much you at right now? How much you at?
But,
You have
hold on,
you have
but,
2
no,
kids?
let's wait.
You have 2 kids?
But let me preemptively say,
Oh, sure.
I was on a bus for the last 7 days.
Sure. So that's a good, definitely.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
not home.
not home.
We're
doing
checking.
reading.
We're checking our amount of usage online on our phones.
Okay.
So that's
Not home.
legit. I
And
mean,
right now, mine's like 30
every
minutes
day
a day.
on a bus.
But this, by the way, this time could be spent reading
That's a lot.
book or
Yes.
doing something. But go
30
ahead.
minutes a day?
It's not.
No.
30 minutes, I think, is pretty low. Wow.
What's Tom's?
6 hours and 34 minutes a day.
Last week on a bus. I'm on a bus.
Okay, but that is, I get
Come
your
on,
bored.
man.
But no, I get your bored. But there's a far better way to spend your time.
You're
than
right, but you know
6
what?
hours
But
of
you know
those
what?
days.
But here's the. But you have to kind of look at it like this too. I'm sitting on this bus with a fucking 1,000 movies you can choose from, and I do this all the time where I roll through like I'm gonna watch a movie, which is like a normal thing to kill an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm like, none of these interest me. I'm gonna spend that time doing this, right? Looking at emails, looking at social media, looking at YouTube videos. If I'm saying that you can knock off easily
See the
2
breakdown.
hours,
Yeah.
and there'd be 2 hours spent just mindlessly staring at something else
Or-
that you wouldn't have a record of.
For writing or
Yes,
thinking.
that's
or,
true.
Or like.
But you're saying that none of that occurred.
We're learning hip hop dance.
No, I'm saying that I will say this: when you're bored and you're looking out a window on a tour bus, eventually, not in the first 10 minutes, but in the maybe between 10 minute 30 and minute 40, your mind's like, "Fuck, we're so bored," and then you start writing bit ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
And you're just not even thinking about those times because you're on there.
That's true.
It's 100% true.
Wait, so what's yours? 8 minutes?
I would have to get my iPad out.
Do you know what yours is?
Yeah, take it out. Let's see.
Ari's is surprisingly high because he uses his when he's not at, like.
What's your 7 day
home?
though?
I have no idea.
7 day was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Today was 3 hours and a half, but 7 day was 30
That's
minutes a
what I
day.
average 30 minutes a day.
What the hell is that possible?
What's
How's
it
that
under?
possible?
What's it under?
Just
You have a second phone?
use the search part and just put screen time.
That doesn't even make sense mathematically.
Yeah,
You have a
there's
second
no
phone?
way.
Good job, Tommy. You're absolutely right. That 3 hours and 35 minutes
Yeah.
today would be all. You would have to only have used that all day. It's a brand new phone.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even when you said 30 minutes, I was like, how the fuck is that possible?
let me
no
see.
way.
I'll show you where,
Where
it
is
is.
it? Oh, yeah. 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Dude, that's too much. That's
Well, I
too
was
much
at
of
the
your
doctor's
life.
office today.
No, okay,
Probably
go to
why.
seven- go to
I want
seven
to find it. What is it?
Oh, man.
What'd you do?
Oh, where'd you get the fucking? Here.
I love the one guy that doesn't have an iPhone is walking you through your iPhone.
That's
Last
pretty
7
true.
days.
5 hours and 30 minutes.
4 hours
Yeah.
and 51 minutes a day.
Wow. It's a lot.
4 hours and 51 minutes of your day.
a lot.
It's like
5
of
hours.
your 16-hour waking day.
In Joe's defense, but like he's got to
3
interview
hours.
new people all the time, and I'm sure there's times he's like, "Tell me about that guy." ...
Okay,
Well, there's
okay,
definitely
but
a lot of that.
I keep hearing that in my defense, but I'm never in
But
my
it's-
offense, where I'm like, that's too much.
It is too
It's
much.
true.
It is too much.
You do some work on your phone, but
Sure.
more than that, you fuck off. I have every note transcribed in my phone. All my notes from my writing, my laptop's all on my phone. All my sets are on my phone.
It shows your productivity on there. It
Yeah.
shows you what you're using the time on.
Yeah.
It won't be. It's not like it's going to be 4 hours and 35 minutes of productivity and 20 minutes of fucking off.
No, a lot of it is also watching stuff.
You want
I
to
watch
have
stuff
real
on
fun?
YouTube.
Yeah,
pull up,
YouTube.
pull up your
More
tabs
of
on
it-
Safari and let's play a game. Where I can go, hey, tell me about ... what you Googled earlier. It's a
wow.
fun fucking game.
I got my computer
Tom,
here.
give me
I can
your
do it.
phone.
I got my
No.
computer.
Tom, give me your phone.
No.
Tom, give me your phone.
No.
This can go
Give you
back for a while. I have my
It's a
computer
lot of
here. You can
time
use
to use.
that.
It's a lot of time when you look at it. When you see that 4 hours.
A lot of waking time spent looking at a screen instead of your surroundings.
Wow.
What is the last things I Googled?
You're
Tom?
driving part of that. You're not using it. You're fucking.
It's me and it's you, and then it's just some porn.
How much do
Is
you
that
beat
anal?
off?
You like anal scenes?
Are you beating off every day?
No, I just started again.
Interesting.
Took some time off.
Yeah, I took some time off. I was having a hard time with it, and now I'm
This
back.
is his phone. This is Ari's phone.
Yeah, Ari brings
Hello?
old school.
I gotta call you back in a minute.
He's got a laptop that has a CD drive.
No, it doesn't. You're out of
But
it.
that's the right year to buy, honestly, because
Say,
that's a good keyboard.
Yeah, all the ones I got now are fucking horrible.
The problem is with that, you can't do the same things on Instagram. Like, you can't post stuff from your fucking computer.
No, I have to send it to my lady.
You can't post it from an iPad?
Yes, you probably could.
No, I can't, but I blocked
Could you?
myself out of my account. I don't have a password to
that's
my account.
hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah,
It
but
really
it
is.
does not make for a great Sober October challenge, in my opinion. Just to watch
Well-
people do nothing is not
No,
entertaining.
but it'll still get. He's saying that it would still get posted. Everything would still get posted.
No,
I'll buy you each a good
no.
a camera, a
lady.
legit like
The
digital
strength
camera.
of this challenge is that
Someone's
people enjoy
scared.
like following along
Okay,
with
in
it.
terms of what we're doing, but that is not our normal thing. Rogan clearly is the working out, so he doesn't have to change his life that much. All you do is promote.
Oh,
it wouldn't
does-
be the worst for you to not have what you're already doing is promoting nonstop.
All he has is hip hop dancing.
Did you knock something over again?
Yeah, he's going
On
crazy.
purpose, though.
So then what's Tom bad at?
What? Being a father, obviously.
So we've got to. What if we switch kids?
What do you do? How do you handle this?
What?
Yeah, what do you do? How do you handle this? How do we do this?
No, I didn't say what. I didn't hear you. But I mean, what are those pronouns you mean?
I mean, I'm saying, like, I like the idea of some sort of social media challenge, like staying off social media.
It's got to be
not a bad
that
idea.
with something. That's the thing. We're
Yes.
missing the second part.
No, 100%. You're dead on. Dead on with that. But Bert can go fuck himself with this hip hop dance and shit. So
Joe.
I do have a hip hop dance place right near my apartment that I could go to all the time.
I told you I'm in, man.
Interesting.
You're in.
I'm
And
in.
Ari, do you think social hip hop dance would be a good one?
I think let's put a pin in that. I think for real.
Okay, put a pin in it. We
That would
agree
be
to put a pin in
okay.
it.
That would be at some level of acceptable. We'd have to get judges
It's a challenge.
who
It's
don't
physical.
know us
nothing's
at all.
subjective. No judges. Judges can go fuck themselves. You want real hard numbers.
Okay, then let's put in parameters.
You can't have a bad decision that causes a riot amongst our fans.
I
'cause
feel like
someone
even if we
unfavorably
don't,
got the belt.
even if we don't do this,
Yeah.
there was something so real about how good you said you're a better mover than him that I would love to see. I feel like part of the month you have to do something with that. You know what I mean? I think the audience would love it.
Seems like it makes sense.
It's got to be. Here's the deal. Let's just put parameters on where Sober October is going to be taking place. Tom is touring through Europe in October.
For part of it, yeah.
For part
you
of it.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many
like
days?
10 days.
That'll cripple you. You're gonna get sick.
To do what? Be
Forget about
sober?
any fitness. I'm already laying it down.
Yeah.
Forget about any fitness challenge, son. 10 days in Europe.
Yeah.
All that traveling, with those weird European diseases.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's how they wiped out
They
most
kill
of
the
South
Indians.
American.
Your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
diseases you find there is what's going to wipe out your people.
Graham Hancock says that at one point in time, the Amazon jungle had 20 million people in thriving civilizations, beautiful cities, and that the Europeans, their dirty diseases,
Yeah.
came over and wiped everybody out.
They
That's what
killed
think now.
thousands.
That's
Just
actually your
like
parents'
that. Yeah.
20
love
million
story.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, your dad was one of those
They're trying to
settlers that found your
run
mom.
away from a virus.
True.
Getting rid of his dirty bugs.
Your mom was down washing her laundry next to a Cayman alligator.
Yeah,
He
so-
came up and sneezed in her pussy.
Hey, tell me this: the Creek in the Cave, the Legion of Skanks are not doing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They're not doing their show at the Creek in the Cave anymore.
First of all, you guys coming to me on this is worse than Ainsling being coming to you about a comedy store. But
Well, no,
go
but
ahead,
you
I'll
were
answer your
just on
questions.
with
Yeah.
Milo. I think it's directly related.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's
that one
directly
wasn't at
related.
the Creek in the Cave.
Right, but that's why.
That's
what
not why.
happened?
No, they were trying to do it at the Creek in the Cave, and the
Yeah.
lady freaked out. Right?
She buckled under pressure. That's not why they're moving. They're already going to move it. They're already going to move it. The new stand was opening up. They'll use this as an excuse maybe, or people will say that's the reason.
So
they
did
were
they-
already going to move it.
Wait, start from the beginning for someone who doesn't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
there's a lot of people who know what you're
They
talking about.
booked Legion of Skanks. You know who they are.
Yeah, of course.
They're legit people who fucking
Jay
hold
and
their own.
Dance and Luis, right?
Luis, yeah, and
Luis Gomez.
and Dave Smith, and they're hardcore guys, except when they come on this podcast and kind of puss out. But like, they're
was
hardcore
funny.
guys for the most part, and so they booked.
Yeah, they bitched out on this
They
podcast.
bitched out.
What do you mean? I don't understand that. I thought we just had a conversation.
Yeah, but no, but
There you
yeah,
go.
that's
Now you
not
understand.
them. That's fucking.
Imagine Jackass in the heyday of Jackass, and them all sitting here politely and not trying to fucking shave their heads in front. It's like, come on, dude. Obviously,
They need a second chance on this
Interesting.
podcast.
I don't
Big
think
time.
so. Not now.
Yeah.
Not when you
I wouldn't.
give
I
them all
wouldn't.
these expectations.
I would
They're gonna
not.
come up and do something crazy.
They just came here and had a good time with you?
Yeah, been fun. Nice conversation.
What's the problem
It was
with
funny.
Oh,
No,
Legion
it's
of
great.
Skanks.
I'm
No,
just gonna
this is what the
drink some
problem-
tea and
They
cross
did
their
a
legs,
podcast
just like
with
I'm doing
Milo
right.
Yiannopoulos, and Milo said they cucked out, so now Ari's running with the narrative. That's all it
The
is.
narrative. Listen, so they booked Milo.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we have this guy who's been fucking whatever, and then everyone started doing the thing where they attack the venue. If you have that
Right,
there,
right,
you're
right,
the
right.
problem.
Yeah.
It's not enough that they can misanalyze the person or say I want nothing to do with that guy. Then if you put him up, then you're the issue. A woman who gave birth to tons of fucking great LGBA and fucking black performers.
Right.
She's an issue because she's not stopping a performance from happening. And then soon it'll be like, if you perform at that venue, then you're an asshole.
Right. No, it's nonsense.
Wait,
but
you
what
just went
ended up happening?
LGBA.
Yeah, what's the A stand for?
A lesbian, gay, bisexual alliance.
Oh.
They had a lot more since I left college, but that's what I was told.
Oh,
was LGBA.
The problem is when you look at LGBT, which is like the accepted use of those letters.
We didn't have
when
T
you
in
add
college.
the A in the end, we were like,
Oh, A is now asexual, and Finn Taylor does a great joke where it's like they're included, because the reality is the asexuals hate the other ones. Like, you're disgusting. I don't care what kind of sex you're having.
a
It's
lot
gross.
of lesbians are not really excited about transgender men or transgender women, rather.
True. Yeah.
There's that. There's TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm busy fucking living my life and trying to fucking dominate.
That's
I
what
don't
TERF
know.
is. You're trying to dominate?
I'm trying to dominate, dude.
Damn, I didn't know you were trying to dominate.
Damn. Wait, can you fill me in more on this though? So
Tell me about dominating.
wait, let's not leave dominating. I want to write that down. But
There was a big uproar. A lot of comedians started trying to like show how they were woke enough, and they were like, "I don't think you should do it." Quit putting very publicly, quit putting Rebecca in this position.
Telling the guys
Milo
that.
Yiannopoulos
Yeah.
was going to be in
Here's
that
how you can
place.
tell someone is a fucking white knight virtue signaler. When they don't go to you saying, "Hey Tom, I'm
Yeah.
calling you on the phone.
Yeah.
Don't do this." But I get it. I might not have your number. So if I'm tweeting at you, I'll just write at Tom Segura. Don't do this. If I really want a virtue signal, I'll go at Tom Segura or hey at Tom Segura. So it's not just me and your followers, it's everybody. Anytime anybody sees, if you're listening, you see somebody not start with the at, that is them virtue signaling on purpose. And all these
Or-
comics.
unless they're saying something positive, they just want everybody to
Sure.
see it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're right. Good point. Like, hey, everybody, come see Tom. You
Yeah.
don't want to say Steve
Hey,
Simone's new
Ari
album.
Shaffir, I love your new Netflix special.
Yeah,
I love the Jew hour.
Yeah, it's coming to yeah, thank you.
It's great. It's a great hour.
Everyone,
I saw it.
I saw some of it.
It's
I
a
liked
great
it.
hour. You've been working on
So
it hard.
your Jew buddy Milo, he's gonna appear on the show.
Yeah.
He's,
and then
all these
Also-
comics, all these people started saying, "I will never go to the creek again." They put unbelievable pressure on her.
They call him a Nazi.
A club
he's
owner.
Jewish, and he's also married to a gay man.
He's black man. Yeah.
Who's black.
Crushes his ass. Opens it up.
Allegedly.
so wait a minute. What ends up happening? So they go, we're not gonna have him on.
Okay, so they said we're doing this. We're not talking. They started going to war with these fucking virtue signaler comics.
Okay.
And then at some point, Rebecca, I talked to her a bunch. She's like, "This is not my thing. I don't even want to do it." And I'm like,
Yeah.
Rebecca, what you do is you stand by your comics, and so you let them do whatever they want. Obviously, I've been on the have been on the wrong side. I've had venues cancel me.
Yeah.
Because of shit like this. So I'm like, you don't want to be involved. Then Milo's people said, "Oh, guys, you put out the time and date of where I'm going to
Security
be.
issue.
I can't go anymore." So they moved it,
So they moved it and still did it.
and still did it somewhere else. Yeah, we did it.
And then okay.
Well, shout out to her for not caving then.
Yeah.
Yeah, consider names the Creek in the Cave.
That's funny. Yeah.
So did it go out?
Yeah, it's out now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's all.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but the part with you and Milo pouring poop, it was pretty funny.
The next time somebody calls Milo a Nazi and me a Nazi sympathizer, they say it to my face. Maybe I'm just weird because I just saw my dad speak at the memorial. But I'm like, if you're gonna tell me the people who took his father and say you need to say goodbye to your son, and son, you got to take care of the family now and watch the rest of your family fucking disappear in death, is the same as that political analyst, I'm gonna slap you.
You should slap.
Yeah, it's so
So
derogatory and offensive in a way that I'm not okay with it. So you can say that away from me, but if you say it to me, I'm gonna.
There's a lot of
should.
Brooklyn
You should.
comics that were saying that.
Yeah,
There's not enough of those guys who are getting smacked.
yeah.
That's why they're
they need
saying
a good
shit
smacking.
like
That's what Diaz always said. They need a good
That's what
smack.
Big J
They're
said.
delirious. What is completely ridiculous?
Of course, that's insane.
It was crazy
the guy
to hear.
is a provocateur.
Yeah.
He fucks with people. He pushes buttons, and he does so in the age of the internet. Yeah, he
He's
said
a
something.
great troll.
The thing that they got him on, which is where it all got really weird, was essentially him saying that it should be okay what happened to him when he was molested. That he was abused, sexually molested by a priest. And this priest, he would joke around and say that he was the one who pursued the priest. That he was, trust me, I was the predator. Like that's how he said it. He's hilarious. And that's what got him. It was talking about that on my show and then talking about it on this other show. Wasn't it the Amazing Atheist show? It was, right?
The point is, anybody who says like you shouldn't be allowed to put that person can't be heard anymore.
That's what
Too
they're saying, but
dangerous.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
But it was really just his harsh critiques of liberals and feminists that were so biting. And then, he actually did a podcast with Jordan Peterson recently where he talked about the molestation. I didn't see it, but from Jordan's explanation, it's like he's understanding now as he's getting older that, yeah, he was a victim of this thing. He was making it less
Impactful, yeah.
Yeah, that he was giving this guy like a pass that he did it to him almost.
Yeah. Anyway, the Creek of the Cave is a great place for young comics in New York. She's always like.
I hear
set up
nothing but great
It's
things.
amazing.
Fun
I
as
support
fuck.
that
Great
place.
things.
It's like they bring together young comics and like give them places to
Awesome.
perform when no one's. It is what the Comedy Store was if you take away
The size.
like the 12 plus year
Yeah.
comics.
How many seats is it?
80 on top and 15, 20 in the bottom.
Jesus.
I walked in.
awesome.
This is my impression of this place in one time.
Yeah.
I walked in
Bottom chains.
on Skankfest,
Yeah.
and I walked past Ari throwing piss on somebody.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I walked downstairs to a room full of people with their shirts off, chanting. Do you remember that, Ari?
Did you shit in a Tupperware there?
Yeah, that was there. That is. Yeah.
That's where you open up the Tupperware.
around
He
37 South.
took his shit in a Tupperware and then opened it up in the room.
It was
filled with all
a
these
tackle
people.
box. It was a fishing tackle box that I
Disgusting
wrapped.
person.
Michael Che was outside, and he was like, "Oh!" And he ran. He smelled it from fucking down the street.
I'm starting to gag just.
And these guys were offended by Milo?
Exactly. It's like, what are you
Was
guys
it a
talking
log or
But
was
it wasn't
mush
them.
pile?
I just shit into it and see whatever happened. It was a pile, a bit.
Oh my
It's a
god.
good question.
dude.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly.
Sometimes when you shit, it smells awful, and you realize you've shit so much it's broken water. It's rising like
Yeah.
It's broken water.
Hawaii out of the fucking toilet bowl. You know, it's like the Kona coast. You know, you get that
water.
smell. Like, why does it smell so bad?
Human-
And then you realize
human
you
shit.
so bad. My dog's shit doesn't smell nearly as bad.
Fuck no.
Not even nearly as bad as people's
As
shit.
that, yeah, people
Are
shit.
disgusting.
It smells like hate crimes.
Yeah, but dog shit, once it gets in between your toes, smells worse.
I don't believe that. Dogs aren't drinking. That's what it is. They're not drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
They're not eating Subway.
I thought you were going to
Drinking
do a
whiskey.
thing on dog hydration. Like, dogs don't drink enough water, man.
Makes their shit good.
Guys, On a Dog has a new product.
The real problem with dogs is the amount of water in their shit. You can dehydrate your dog. It won't be nearly as bad.
No, nothing's as bad as human shit.
Human
man.
shit is so nasty, man.
You know, you're walking like in a city, and you sometimes see shit,
Yeah.
and then
Say it, San
if you
Francisco.
smell it, if you're in San Francisco, if you smell it, it's like a fucking 90% chance.
Oh,
That's human
100%.
shit. You know?
Oh, dude, that's what they told me in Hong Kong. They're like, listen, if you see, hold on, not every mainlander from mainland China shits in malls, but if you see shit in a mall, that's a mainlander.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're disgusting.
They just shit in the mall.
Yeah, they just shit. Mainland
So-
Chinese people.
Just shit in the mall? Like,
So hold on,
I'm
hold
not
on.
talking about the bathrooms.
Oh, the ground.
The ground.
So okay, so you're walking through the mall and you see human shit on the ground.
Yeah, dude, they don't know how to be. Chinese tourists are underrated, worst tourists in the world.
What?
Chinese tourists are the worst tourists. When they're saying to Trump, we're gonna hold our tourism back, all the fucking travelers are like, please keep them there.
So they just some folks who live in rural China. Is that
A
what you're
lot.
saying?
Dude,
They'll
the
just shit on the
children,
ground?
the children, you've been there.
Yeah.
They have these shorts, these wide shorts with a cut down the middle. So when you stand up, the cut comes together. When you squat, so you don't have to fucking lift your shorts out, it comes out and then just shit away,
They
bro.
just shit where they're walking.
10-year-olds
Just
wearing
take
these shorts.
shits.
How do I get those pants for Sundays?
What is this? Why kids keep crapping in public in China?
It's part of their
Oh
culture,
my
dude.
God.
If you're
Hold on,
against
hold on.
it,
By
their
the way,
kids are fucking
that doesn't mean
culture.
shit. And you can find
Doesn't
anything
mean
online these days.
That's true. That's very
Who is this,
good point.
Breitling?
Look at Bert with the fucking common sense.
Dude, I'm getting
It is
trapped in these so much.
Kotaku.com. Yeah.
The Louvre
Trying to put up signs. They're the worst
had to
tourists.
put up signs asking Chinese tourists to not poop on the grounds. Oh my God.
Scroll down that for a second.
Top 5 worst tourists. Chinese, far and away number 1. Like fucking Richard
The
Pryor.
Chinese replaced Americans as the worst tourists in the world.
We never were.
It says that they're obnoxious. Oh my God, this is a terrible article.
Yeah.
Although, have you ever
And
been?
they shit in public, apparently. Oh my God, this is on Vice.
Yep.
UK Vice.
UK Vice. How
What's the
dare you
fucking
people?
difference?
But we're reading this, folks. If you hear those words, I have not said that.
Yeah.
I'm reading something off of the title. I'm
For
not
the
saying
record,
Chinese people are bad.
if you're
the record,
listening,
it's all Asians,
if you're listening,
technically.
Ari did say everything.
I did say, hold on, I'll stand by. Chinese tourists are by far the worst tourists. Next is, I don't know what to say this, Israel and Russians tied.
Why Israelis?
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm bad. I'm missing Australians. The Bogans are
worst?
garbage
Are you
people.
serious?
And they fucking inflicted them into the world. Like, go learn on their turf.
Wow.
Bogans are awful.
Why
All they want to do is
Israelis?
get
Look at them.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
I
they get
know.
out of the army and they think they can fucking go nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know, but people don't like Israeli tourists.
Really?
Yeah, they got a reputation about them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Like the
Americans
Zohan.
are way down the line.
No, Americans are not celebrated in a lot of parts where you travel to, man.
We are
I
very
know.
celebrated. A lot of people. We're the only ones who tip consistently.
Hardcore.
People like our money.
Yep.
And the ones
Yeah.
who travel are not the fucking fat rednecks in
I guess
Texas.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We're the ones who've gone to the world.
But sometimes they are. That's
That's sure sometimes there's loud Americans.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's plenty of obnoxious
Yeah.
Americans traveling.
yeah.
Definitely.
But we're not in this top 5.
Really?
Interesting.
I would have.
But
I
we're
would have
not
assumed. we were.
normally shitting at the mall. I
Yeah.
can't
Shitting
believe
on
that
the
That's a big step
ground
down. It's a big step
indoors is insanity, dude. Like for you to think that
And they're not
other
hiding
people
it.
are gonna be like, oh yeah, you just gotta take a
So
shit.
what
Just
is
do
the
it right
culture
here.
like?
Dude, I've been where it's like I gotta piss in public at things like block me. You
But
know,
you
so they
pissed
get
in
4 or
here
5
a
guys around
dozen
them. They're like,
times.
no, you don't have to block me. I'm just gonna shit real quick. It's like we're in the woods and I gotta piss. There's no like embarrassing level. That's how they feel. That's how they
don't-
feel, dude.
They don't even worry about who cleans it up.
Because they're not even thinking about it. Let it
just-
stay there.
Do they wipe?
My
There's no
God.
wiping.
Imagine
No,
if
shit's
everybody
going on.
did that. If everywhere you looked, it was
Hand
just
wipe.
shit. Oh, Jesus. Everywhere you're walking.
So if you were to confront somebody like right after, you're like, the fuck did you just do? They'd be like, what are you talking about?
Do you think that they
Yeah,
live
exactly.
in a
The way
place?
they would confront you with like, what, you just got in your car? You're
Yeah.
like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's where they're living is so overrun with people that they just shit anywhere and they don't think that anybody has an
Probably
impact
a
on the
bit.
environment?
Well, now you're asking me to
Because
speak
it's
as an
chaos?
expert, and I will.
Yes, please.
Even though I'm not one, but this is all my interpretation. And yeah, I think they have no expectation of privacy because they're so fucking on top of each other. Their homes, extremely clean. Take off your shoes before you come inside.
Really?
The homes are
Don't
fucking
shit on the
sanctuary.
floor.
Are we
Yeah.
talking about, is this thing like
Mainland, not Hong
but I'm
Kong.
saying but there's on the mainland, you know, China's over 1 billion people.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of like really poor,
Sure.
uneducated rural parts, and like saying that somebody in that area does this, I'd be like, yeah. Are you saying that like even somebody that lives in Beijing or Shanghai who has a job?
They're Roger
that-
Wall Street. No, they don't.
No.
They don't. So that's what I'm saying. Not all mainlanders will
Yeah.
shit in malls.
Right.
But if you see shit in a mall,
It's
it
a
is a
mainlander.
mainlander.
And let's be clear. When they say kids, what age group? Is it high school kids who are trying to fuck, or is it like
They're just shit
toddlers?
everywhere. We're
'Cause I
trying
can
to
see-
fuck.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
taking
trying to fuck,
shit.
How long were you in China for?
I wasn't in China. I was in Hong Kong, Singapore, and Macau.
Oh.
So now the Macau. What's funny is when you're in Macau, which is obviously a big casino kind of tourist destination, all the people there they eyeball immediately who they'll tell you who's like a mainland Chinese person, you know. Because they can tell by well, that's a different type of thing. Where if somebody's like, you see dudes in Macau in like Versace shades and like Fendi and Gucci and like I mean
dumbest
like,
outfits.
all crazy outfits, and you're like, God damn, what's up with that dude? And they'll be like, that's just a mainland dude who new money. He just got rich.
Wow.
And it's all over Macau. We just know. And then you see the understated person. They're like, that's a Hong Kong guy. That's old money.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's like England almost.
Yeah.
Like you know, how, like England, they got those guys that are like Oasis who are like tracksuits and walking
Oh, yeah,
like
those
this,
guys, yeah.
and then you got the old posh money who's like,
Yeah.
all right, that's all.
Yeah.
We can do accent challenge.
Oh, name an accent. Name an accent.
Dumb fucking fat Florida person.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? It's Bert Kreiser. I got tour dates in Auckland.
Son of a bitch. Oh my God.
Wait, Ari, I'll say a country. You do the accent without saying the words, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Russia. Don't say the words. Just make the noises they make.
This is my. Okay, I'm not great at
That's like
accents.
Arnold
I'm not great at accents. Oh, don't do any words.
Don't do any words.
Ushna not vushta.
You're in Japan.
Have you ever heard the samurai speaking Sasquatch footage?
No.
One of the dumbest things that Duncan and I did when we were doing that
You
show.
guys did
Ari.
this?
No. We went and studied Bigfoot. One of the dumbest things. Ari did the show with me, and one of the things that we did when we studied Bigfoot was talk to a Bigfoot expert that was playing us some audio, and some of the audio it sounds like a samurai. It sounds like and the guy was claiming that this was like a secret recording of Bigfoot.
Really?
Oh my
Speaking
God.
samurai.
It was the dumbest
That's
fucking
so
thing I'd
dumb.
ever heard in my life.
Did anything, by the way, in your conspiracy theories
Yes.
and like what you challenge, was there anything that you ended up going, good that's
question.
not dumb?
Yes.
Really?
Flat
Yeah,
Earth, flat
Morgellons disease.
Morgellons.
Morgellons disease is a disease where people... Is it Morgellons? Is that what it's called?
But you're saying something you didn't even think about before.
Yeah, I thought it was bullshit before because I had read that it was bullshit. And what I read was that the people would think that they had things growing out of their skin, so they'd be scratching themselves, and they would add fibers to their skin and take pictures of it and say, look, I've got things growing out of my skin, and that it was a hoax. But then talking to a doctor who had Morgellons, who explained to me that there's some sort of neurotoxic effect of Lyme disease, and that everyone who has Morgellons also has Lyme disease.
Damn.
And he was a legitimate doctor and a very smart guy. And he was essentially saying that mainstream science, in its rush to prove, he's gonna piss in that.
Try not to interrupt.
No,
Go
what are
to
you
the
doing?
bathroom, bro.
Just right there.
We all
He's
just
already
just
started.
right there.
He's already started.
Ari, come on, man.
man.
But you're gonna get us kicked off of YouTube with your dick out.
Oh, it's barely dead. Balls are away.
Just cut straight to his dick.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Magellan's
disease.
That is a real disease. That this Morgellons disease is what it is Lyme disease. There's a bunch of pathogens that come with Lyme disease. You know, it's not just the Lyme disease. It's not like a pure one, like a 1 or a 0. You have it or you don't. It's a dirty tick that has a bunch of fucking horrible diseases inside of its nasty little body.
Would you know if you had Lyme disease?
Yes, you get a bullseye, looking red mark around the area, and the area hurts, and then you start experiencing terrible symptoms like flu-like symptoms. And
Okay.
you got to
Can't
catch it
read.
quick.
Stop being able to read.
You're supposed to catch it quick.
maybe I could.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
This
on
guy
your
in my
show?
community wanted to brush his teeth, and he's like, he couldn't go back and forth.
Yeah.
He was like, what the fuck?
My friend's kid got Bell's palsy, where his face
Yeah.
went numb.
Don't
Yes.
get me started.
Oh
Dude,
my God.
I
I had
just got
a
over that.
teacher that had Bell's palsy in high school, and they kept him out, and then he came back.
And he was okay.
No, but he came back while he still had the face paralysis.
Oh, no.
And we're all like looking at this dude.
We had a student a year older than me who had Bell's palsy, and we mocked them relentlessly, like we should have.
Bro.
15-year-olds. I don't know.
John Heffron.
We made fun of this guy too.
John Heffron got it on stage.
No way.
He was on stage, and his face started going on him, and he had to hold his cheek over to finish his jokes. Then he called his brother-in-law. He goes, I think I'm having a stroke. I'm about to get on a plane. I think I'm having a stroke. The next morning, his face was numb and drooping. His brother-in-law goes, go to the fucking doctor right now.
what do you mean?
You're having a
20-hour stroke.
And it was Bell's palsy.
And so what do they do about that? How do they fix that?
Nothing. Fucking nothing.
You just wait, right? You just
Eddie
wait.
Ift had it. Dude, I wake up.
Eddie Ift had it?
Eddie Ift had it too. I think it's a virus.
You'd be good at it.
Dude,
You'd be good at it. You'd be
best
crush Bell's
I
palsy.
think about
guy
Bell's
ever.
palsy every fucking morning.
Why?
Just keep him
Crazy morning thought.
Every
my
morning.
ritual,
Why
bro.
would you think of that?
It's my ritual.
Every morning
oh my
I
God,
wake
you had
up.
it for
On the
real.
left, I thought he was doing a Stallone impression.
He said Stallone has Bell's palsy too.
Does he?
He got it when he was young, and sometimes it doesn't go away.
Whoa.
And so he wrote, so we were at about 3 moths. Does it affect the spelling, or? I don't know what the actual effects
Well,
are.
if
I'm
you
new to
don't know
this.
how to spell, it doesn't help.
2 L's basically. That's
He looks better now. I hung out with him this weekend, but
So is he back on stage?
he's back on stage.
How
But
recently did this happen?
He spent like 3 weeks in his sister's basement, just being like, "It's never gonna come back. My career's over. I can't go on stage." Like he tried to do a show, and he said everyone was just staring at him like this, like, "Oh man,
So what do they do to fix it?
nothing."
You just wait?
You just wait till it starts coming back.
Yeah, I think he said a reboot was like, right? Your face reboots.
So you got to get KO'd.
Wait, so
someone choke
why
him
do you
out.
think about this every morning?
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm getting ready for a special, I think like
What if I got Bell's
What if
palsy?
I got
the
morning
Tell these
of?
jokes?
That would be
Dude,
terrible.
the morning of my special, the secret time, I woke up and I smiled and I went, I beat Bell's palsy. That's the first thought I had.
That is the dumbest fucking thing. Jesus Christ. How am I involved in this conversation? I can't believe I'm involved in this
I
conversation.
think we forgot.
Bell's palsy. You know what else I forget? I think of alopecia.
Just
Hair falling out?
Everyone gets out. There was
I
a
had
period
it when I was little.
Every comic at the store had it. Burn had it. Ahmed had it. Everyone got it at one point, and I just was like, "Don't give me
All the hair
alopecia."
fell out?
Just in a circle. Norman had it.
weird patches.
Comics get it.
Oh, yeah.
Comics
Stress.
get it?
I had it in just
Stress
yeah,
related.
circle in my head when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think about alopecia too.
And so when I
Mike
loved him.
Tyson had it, remember?
That's why I thought so.
Yeah, Mike Tyson had like a weird circle in his head for a while.
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you were going to dominate earlier.
What are you
No, just
dominating?
during-
You like to dominate?
I gotta give him the context again.
I know.
remember.
But
You're
certain
like,
things
I'm
that
here to
dominate.
like, get
You
up.
said you
and-
like dominating or something.
Yeah, dominating life, whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
dominating life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I crush hard.
Oh,
dude.
that's you have
Yeah.
time to dominate because
Yeah.
you're on your phone. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Time to
That's how you
Something.
dominate.
I can
Dominate.
I can masturbate multiple times a day instead of just once, like you guys. I can,
You moved in with a lady, though, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do.
We should honestly, guys. It might not be this year about the fucking
Your marriage?
social media
Your wedding?
addiction and stuff.
Your wedding is next
You gonna
year?
make a kid? Are you gonna take that
When
rock
are you
out of your
proposing?
dick hole?
Take that rock out of here.
Get your shit taped back up,
I gotta be like, I made you this fucking occasion and rock. I can't somebody
baby.
vasectomy.
I'm ready to shoot some hot ones into you. I love you so much. I got my dick fixed.
That's real
I got
love if you do
my
that.
pipes
Yeah.
reconnected.
Fuck yeah.
They pulled a straw out of one of those sea turtles' noses, and they used it to fix my dick. You know the straw video with the sea turtle's nose?
No.
It's the most horrific video.
Oh,
Marie-
way up in
Don't
there.
Google it.
It's the reason why they don't have plastic
Jamie, pull it
straws.
up.
If you're like, why the fuck do we have plastic cups to lids? Why do we have plastic
fuck, you're gonna
caps to
show me
water
this
bottles?
shit?
No, don't look
Why
at it.
don't we have plastic straws? The reason why is because there's a fucking video of a turtle, and they have a clamp. I don't know if this is the main reason, but it is for a lot of people. They
Yeah, it's-
clamped this straw in this turtle's mouth, and they eventually pulled it in his turtle's nose. Rather, it was deep in his nose.
Oh,
Look,
shit, I can't
is
watch
it.
this.
Yes, you can.
Oh,
Yes,
there's
you
like
can.
one of those-
So see, that's a straw.
I gotta tell you,
that got stuck
it
in
is
his sea
so
turtle's
much
mouth.
He's fighting
harder.
them.
It is so much
doesn't
harder
hurt.
to watch
Thinks
things
he's gonna
happen
eat 'em.
to animals than to people.
How do we not know this wasn't a night of cocaine gone wrong?
Look at that poor turtle. So he inhaled.
Oh, he's
this,
giant
yeah.
too. He's
Yeah.
a fucking good one.
Oh fuck.
So they realized that the straw was stuck, and apparently this is not.
Oh, it's bleeding.
This is not an unusual thing. So they have to pull. Wait, what do they pull?
Who's the
it out?
fucking tweezer guy? Get a real tweezer guy
He's
in there.
scared. He's scared, and he's got little hands too,
He's got little fucking tie hands.
little bitch ass hands.
Grab it and pull the
Meanwhile, he's
fucking
out there
thing.
saving turtles.
Pull
and
the
being
fucking thing
assholes
out.
about this person's hands.
The
Maybe it's
turtle's
a
Look at
girl.
that poor turtle's going, no.
So look at it.
Oh, it's in his
It looks,
brain,
it
dude.
looks
He's
like Jim
drooling.
Norton. Jim Norton's going, no, don't do it.
Oh,
Right.
he's using a pocket knife.
Well, that's all he's got.
Damn, dude.
Oh,
That is just.
you know what I would
Does
do?
he get it out?
I would bite it with my face, and I would pull it out with my neck.
because you're a warrior.
Someone
Yes.
hold his
And
fucking
you care
head.
about the
Yes,
animals.
I care about the animals. I'm a warrior for sea creatures.
Oh, there we go. This has got to get it.
This is
God
it,
damn,
right?
Get it the fuck
Fucking
out.
pull it
He's
out.
got a leather man. Oh, that is like. Nope.
God, this guy's horrible.
No, it takes time.
Horrible.
man. It
This guy,
takes
I never
time.
want to play Operation with this
Bro,
guy.
it takes time, but it's worth it at the end.
Oh, he's trying to bite the shit out.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you guys doing to me? It was fine. It was better before. Leave me alone. Ugh, he's bleeding out of his fucking nose.
How did they get the sea turtle on the boat
This
to
guy-
notice it in the first place?
Guy, you stop being a bitch. Grab
Yeah,
that guy.
stop being a bitch. He's
Here
not
he goes.
biting
Here
at
he
you.
goes. Here he goes. Nope.
Nope.
Lost it again.
He's trying to do a fucking pull. You just got to gentle